trying to sell off the NFL Network?
The NFL Network, to me, I mean, it's a go-to for the combines. I did like Good Morning Football occasionally when they have those games on, preseason games especially, but I don't watch the NFL Network a ton.
Yeah, they're trying to sell it off, and they've already cut some of the staff, and that's after the NFL signed that $110 billion media deal. It's hard to imagine they're laying people off from the NFL Network. Final thing here. The Masters is coming up April the 11th, and I've got friends who have done this. They've even got a bigger package now. The Taste of the Masters. You can go to masters.com and order this. This is the classic kit. Serves 4 to 6, which means it serves 2 in my house because I'll eat a ton of it. The pimento cheese, the plain potato chips, moon pies. You get the souvenir cups and the coasters and all of that. But then the one that serves 12 to 14, you get more stuff. You get the pimento cheese. You get egg salad. You get the pork, barbecue pork, barbecue chips, plain chips, cookies that go with that. Georgia pecan caramel popcorn is in on that, and then all the souvenir stuff. I'm so concerned, though, on shipments like that. Like, I would love a good pimento cheese sandwich. I've never really tried egg salad, but I would like to at the Masters. But if you're shipping it to me, that would worry me a little bit.
Well, let me ask you this. Is this 365 days a year or just around the Masters?
I think it's just this time of year.
Because I was going to say this would be a great Christmas gift.
Yeah, check it out and see if it is. Masters.com for details. That large kit's $179.95 there, and you get all the souvenir cups and everything. I have friends who have done it, the John and Lauren, my buddies, and they've done it before and absolutely knocked it out of the park.
I'm sure it's good, but I bet the pimento cheese is better when you're in Augusta. Like, if I give you a blind taste test of a pimento cheese sandwich from Chicken Salad Chick and one that comes through the mail, do you think you can tell much of a difference?
Probably the one that was made the most fresh would probably be the better one, right? The one that didn't come in the mail. But check it out, Masters.com. April 11th for the tournament. A little taste of the Masters for you there. We're back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time, starting the show off with O's the Mentalist. Until next time, God bless you, and God bless America.
Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
You've been wearing that thin, raggedy t-shirt for years now, and people cannot stop whispering and staring in your vicinity. We've all been there. Luckily, there's a solution to your lack of fashion and social cues. At NextRound.store, they have plenty of options when it comes to a variety of shirts and hats. Once you start putting that Next Round gear on, be prepared to make new lifelong friends and hundreds of unforgettable conversations. Hope you like random high fives in the street, because that's what you're getting after visiting NextRound.store.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Oh, man, we got a fun show ahead for you today. O's the Mentalist will be with you and us in this first segment. LT will be in here momentarily. That's Emily Grace McWhorter.
Hey, guys.
Rockstar in the gang getting going as well as we get ready to talk about a lot of stuff, including the final home games coming up this weekend for Alabama and Auburn. We've also got a lot of college football to get to, big news. In fact, Reese Davis and Lance Taylor agree on something, and I'll tell you what that is over the next 3 hours. O's Perlman, O's the Mentalist, will be with us momentarily. He'll join us. Todd Ferman from Vegas at 10 o'clock. Last night, UAB with a big win, 100-72 over Temple. That game actually made national headlines because it was flagged by the gambling watchdog firm U.S. Integrity, the same people that found the problems with Alabama baseball last year, because that game was at -1.5, a UAB road favorite. And then by mid-afternoon, it was UAB -8. It settled at 7, and U.S. Integrity flagged it because there was no suspensions, no injuries, news, or anything.
Yeah, well, unfortunately for us, Lance'sLog.com, we had Temple plus the points.
Yeah.
And
you should have seen the flag. I think you don't count that one because of the flag.
I don't know. You know, the number continued to move all day. It's very strange. And, I think when this all comes out, I think this is going to be really bad news. I think you're going to have some internal activity amongst some players.
At Temple?
At Temple, yeah. And I think that's the way this thing's going to play out, and I think it's going to be really unfortunate.
Should be noted that UAB not involved with what popped up there with U.S. Integrity. The report has, from Sports Illustrated and others, that they've been watching Temple basketball and some irregular activity for a long, long time over this basketball season. By the way, UAB, the fourth team to score 100 on Temple, Emily Grace. See if you like this neighborhood. The other three teams to do it: Wake Forest, pretty good basketball program; Villanova, pretty good
basketball program;
and the University of Kentucky Wildcats,
pretty good basketball program.
Yeah, so UAB, the fourth team to score 100 on Temple there. And we look forward to talking about all that going on. And if you like The Athletic, and good reads, and this is good news, bad news for Samford. Good news that Bucky McMillan's killing it, right? He's having such a great year. It's bad news if you'd like to keep Bucky at Samford. National story at The Athletic today about one of the hottest young coaches in college basketball, Bucky McMillan. That's the headline.
Yeah, look, and here's the situation. If Samford, who plays tomorrow, they've got the bye today. If they win this tournament and they get in, we've talked about how dangerous they could be as a 13 or a 14 seed. And if he's to win a game, he's going to get some offers. Now, I would assume Martin Newton, the athletics director at Samford, is probably working on a pretty good bump for Bucky right now, and I think Samford would love to have him. But it goes back to something we've always said. When you're a program the size of Samford, and if somebody comes and plucks your coach to get a bigger job, then you're in a hell of a spot, a much better spot than you were before you hired that guy.
Absolutely. So you can read that about Buckyball there as we get ready for the tournaments going on in the women of the SEC, that tournament going on in Greenville. Auburn won last night. Alabama jumps into play today. They play later on 1:30 for Bama as they host Tennessee. Amazingly, Alabama had the bye. They're the 4 seed. Here comes Tennessee to play them. Auburn won yesterday. They play LSU tonight at 6 o'clock. That's the women. So there's your headlines for the most part of what's going on. Again,
sorry I was late, by the way. I was talking to O's Perlman. O's Perlman, the Mentalist, and he was asking me some questions. He was making me do a bunch of work on my phone. And so
we'll see how it plays out coming up.
You think he's got us?
It will blow my mind if he's got us, but we'll find out. I just had a shot of Redmond vodka because I get nervous talking to these stars. So everyone sensed my nerves. So they said, Jim,
well, I can't tell.
Jim, take a shot. So I took a shot of Redmond vodka. Tell us about Redmond vodka.
Yet?
You know me, one shot, and I can't feel my cheeks.
Locally owned and operated. Look, the weekend is here. Make sure you stop into your local package or ABC store. Available at Beverage Place, Pink Package. Pick up a bottle of Red Mott vodka. It is just one of the best vodkas out there. It's gluten-free. It's 8 times distilled. Available in 22 states. Ask for it by name. If they don't have it, tell them to get it. It's Red Mott vodka.
You know what I call a shot of vodka at 8:55 in the morning? A redneck mimosa. That's what that is. Redneck mimosa. Just throw the vodka in, forget the orange juice.
No, are you a redneck if you put a vodka shot on top of the mimosa? No. Or are you just a hard charger?
No, you're just a guy trying to crank up his day.
Yeah.
That's a mimosa with diesel.
So,
how was birthday last night, by the way?
It was great. It was excellent. It was a good day.
Good.
Feel so much old. Dunaway told me that I was aging well, so just be prepared for the rebuttal to that one.
Yeah, I said, hey, you're aging well as you get older here now.
He asked me on the phone, he was like, do you know Emily Grace's or Dunaway's birthday? I was like, well, I do know Emily Grace's. It was yesterday.
You don't know mine all these years later?
I don't. I think you're September, though, right?
Ooh.
No.
December? Okay.
1 in 12.
No. I mean, there was 10 left.
I think you and Brown are May.
It's close.
No, he's March.
Yeah.
So you and Brown are March.
Good job.
But you and Brown are close together. I remember that.
Oh, I think we're a couple weeks off. I don't know. Let's not give O's too much information. I hope he gets it wrong, by the way. I mean, it blows me away the things he does.
Look at Lunsford, even knows the date.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lunsford is also in December, I think.
Yeah. You know what I call him? Luntz the Mentalist. That's what I call him.
Why will Luntz never forget it? Is Luntz working in payroll for us?
No, it's just like the first time it ever came around for me and Jim being in the same place that it's like, it's my birthday. I never forgot it after that. Yeah. So, yeah.
I usually go and write down people's birthdays on my calendar once I get it. And so I added Emily Grace's last night. So I will have it forever because I put it to continue every year.
Yeah.
So there'll be someday when I'm on a rocking chair looking over a lake somewhere.
You're in bed shitting yourself.
And it'll pop up and it'll be like, God, who is Emily Grace?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I hope it never gets to that.
No, she'll be like on a, the south of France. her and Mikey will be down there just laying out, checking their bank accounts, and you'll be shitting yourself at a retirement home in Alabaster.
I do occasionally.
I'm painting a picture here on Friday, EG.
You are making
I send old friends that I used to work with in TV all the time texts, and they're always amazed that I remember their birthdays. And I used to hard write them. When I would get a new calendar, I would go through my calendar and hand write them. But now it's in my phone, and it just does it by itself.
This is so bad. So my older brother's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, my gosh, we share your birthday.
Along with you.
Nice.
Yeah. Shout out to the Pisces out there. And in the middle of the night, I got up last night, and I was like, oh, damn, I forgot to text him happy birthday. So I sent him a text at like 3 a.m. and I was like, I dozed off in a movie last night. I meant to call you. Yeah, look, there's no chance he's watching this.
Little T out in the command center. Every time Dunaway shares a contact with me, no matter who it is, their birthday is in the contact info.
And Dunaway knew that me and Brown were March, but because I didn't get his right, he wanted to say May. Like, you might not know mine, but there is no chance your man crush for years and Ryan Brown, you did not know his birthday. You guys have shared more meals than you have shared with Maggie, and that's the honest to God truth.
Honest to goodness, I thought it was May, but I knew it was together because every year it pops up. I'm always like, I should have gotten them something.
So we have 3 March birthdays.
Yeah, Lunsford's. Wow. I mean, question mark. You got it, Lunsford. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is good.
I only know because I had to do a lot of things for you when we first started this company.
Okay, you don't have to explain it. You don't have to. It's my fault that you know my birthday. I'm impressed that you were able to retain that.
I'll retain it for you.
I'm telling you, I thought there was going to be something with animals with those, and I told Maddie last night. I said, if you're watching this from home and he says this animal, I'm getting up, I'm walking out, I'm getting in my car, and I'm leaving because there is not a chance. She's the only one, and me are the only ones in the world that would know this animal that I was thinking. And he is a straight-up warlock if he got that. But I don't think he's going to go with that. I think he goes with the questions he asks us, right?
I mean, I don't know what he's going to do. It'll be mind-blowing when Oz joins us momentarily.
Can he hack our phones?
How high is he now in my phone? Because now he called me, so now I've got his cell number.
Oh, see, so he might be...
Oz the Mentalist is... I've got...
We all make mistakes, Jim.
Well, he's got a network, so they might be. Your phone's been infiltrated by. I mean, you're the Bitcoin master.
I'm the Bitcoin master.
So I don't think it's a big deal if somebody sabotages your phone right now. But I wonder if he's got people internally working on your phone and all the information. Because he asked me, did he ask you to put stuff into your phone?
No, I was Googling things on my computer here.
He went 2 different methods with you guys.
Interesting. He didn't talk to me at all.
See, I kind of leaked a little something. Were you in there when I did?
Yeah, that's why he kind of no. Now you got to do this.
But that was confusing, wasn't it? Did you hear it?
I came in the end of it, but he was like, no, don't do.
But the other one, something he's asked me, if he gets this, borderline, I will go on and pour beer, and it's going to be a wild ass Friday.
No,
because there is no chance he gets
so
this.
excited.
The show being brought to you in part by our friends at MyBookie, MyBookie.ag. Remember, promo code next round gets you into the game. I was telling Little T out in the lobby there, the command center, that I made that initial deposit back in August of $300, and I've never added another penny there because I just don't. I don't do that a lot lately. I said I'm going to put this $300 in with MyBookie.ag back in the beginning, and however long it lasts, it lasts. And right now, I'm in the green.
Nice.
I'm in the profit area right now.
In the black. Hey,
I'm in the black.
I will tell you, I've known you probably 20 years. We've been working together. I don't know how many. 15?
14 years.
Yeah, I've known you for 20. That's probably the most impressive thing that I know you for, is being able to not have to put money back into your account for that long.
I'm not a good gambler, but MyBookie.ag, promo code next round. Get in there and be a part of the games, whether it's the tournaments this weekend or March Madness coming up. And don't forget, our bracket challenge is ready to roll, and you go to nextroundlive.com. Emily Grace, I'll let you introduce. You want to introduce him?
All right. Welcome in, Oz Perlman. We have seen so many of your things, and we just think you're the coolest thing ever. And you have been the topic of conversation, so we're very excited to have you in here. And we've got some skeptics, but we're gonna roll with it. I'm excited.
Look, I have Googled you at the house or YouTubed you, and I have made people
cameoed here.
Oh, who's that?
But literally, Super Bowl a pregame this year, I put you on the America's Got Talent when you went back on to America's Got Talent, and somebody grabbed the 20 out of the crowd or whatever. And that was one of the more amazing things. Like, I don't know. I'm glad you popped your kid up because I've called you a warlock. And that does show a human side of you.
Somewhere behind you.
Yeah. Oz, I know nothing about you. I didn't even know you had a child. I have written down a name here. Is this correct? Is her name Bella? Is that by chance?
No.
God.
You would have come on now. That would have been amazing.
He always likes to top everybody.
Would have been amazing, though, right? Okay.
Close. You're in the ballpark.
Oh, okay. I won't try a second.
It's got a couple of vowels in it.
All right, man. Hey, we watch, listen, we're friends with the new coaching staff at Alabama. I know they're trying to work to get you over with the Crimson Tide. So we hope you come.
Tide.
We hope you come to town someday.
Don't be too mad at me that I went to Michigan. Don't be too mad. That's a sore subject.
Congratulations on your national championship. Listen, I put this phrase, fake to Jamar, throw to Tanner, up there just close to I believe in miracles is one of the greatest phrases in sports history when you went to Bengals camp and you did that with Joe Burrow. It's one of the amazing videos I've ever seen.
Thank you. That was, that was one of my favorite videos ever because that was one of those things where it's go big or go home. And Joe Burrow is, they call him, like he's cool under pressure. That is not a man you can influence at all. I'd never met him, spoken a word in our life before I walked in that room. And I know if that video, if it was going to hit, that if I could read him multiple times, and then the fake was just too good.
Hey, I forgot. I think it might have been when you talked to the Detroit Lions, and you did something with an animal at the end, and it was pure comedy when one of the players said something like, "Damn, I'm glad he didn't do a giraffe."
No, that was the Jets. That was Jets, right?
Jets?
Look at that. Encyclopedic knowledge over here. I like it. Jim's got it all down. Yep, that was the Jets, even though we're lining up teams for next year. You know what? If you hear this and you're an NCAA, SEC team or an NFL team, all takers. I'm going to come back in and freak some more people out. That's I've been having a good run with the football teams. I love it.
Have you ever not gotten it right, though?
Big time. I mean, listen, that happens all the time. If you're not making mistakes, you're not taking risks.
Okay.
We don't generally show the mistakes because they're not as great.
Yeah.
But you never know what's going to happen. It's kind of like this. It's live radio. You never know what's going to happen.
Well, you know the great Floyd Mayweather. He loves to post his winning tickets, or used to, on Twitter. Yep. And it like showed he was the greatest gambler of all time. Like, I won 700,000 here. He never showed his losing tickets.
Exactly. I didn't see the one where he lost $1 million right before that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we both already have lost dinner to Emily Grace because we were all killing time. We're a small company. We left corporations years ago, and we bought this little media outlet. We've got 12 employees over here, and we're rolling along. 12 employees. And Emily Grace, we were sitting around watching your videos one day after our weekly meeting, and we were just all laughing, having a good time watching O's do this and this and this, and it's just one stream after another. And Emily Grace over here says, what did you say?
I said, we should try and get him.
And I was like, there's no way in hell O's will come on our show. And she says, I'm going to try.
There's a way. Let's do it, Alabama.
Exactly.
I like it. This is the most excited I've been about a guest in a long time.
Yeah.
Well, let's do this. We got right there in the middle, Lance. This guy's not playing games. Look at that. He's focused. He's not even looking at me. He's looking through me. Lance, how about this? I'm going to ask you a question. In a deck of cards, let's just say, let's spitball, right? In a deck of cards, do you have a favorite card or not really?
Not really.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it. All right, Lance, let me ask you a question. People are creatures of habit. So what I mean by that is, you got a million passwords, a million different sites. You're like, oh God, what should I use for this? When they say never to use 1, 2, 3, 4, because that's what everybody does. You're bored, you just go, I'm going to use Bama 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want that. Is there? I want you to do this. Is there a code that you would say you use for most things that neither of your co-hosts would possibly know?
I would say that is a fact. Yes.
And there's no way I know that.
Well, yeah, I'm very curious. Like, have you posted this online somewhere? Have you mentioned it on air? I mean, I sure hope not.
No, I wouldn't think so. No, absolutely
All
not.
right. Now, most people, their code, their PIN, it's 4 digits. Is yours 4 digits?
It is 4 digits.
I don't want you to, here's the thing. I would tell you to make it up or add stuff up. I want to do it spontaneous. I want to be in the moment live. I want you to think of the first number of your code. Don't say it, but I want you to look at me, and I'm going to say numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Okay.
I want you to think, imagine you push that button on the machine and the first number, and now you think of the next number. Think if it's bigger or smaller, or the same. I think the number got smaller. I think the second number is smaller than the first. Am I right?
You are right.
Oh, wow.
Yep. You look down. You saw that look. There was a look. Clearly, the number got smaller. Think of the third number. Think big, think small. 8, 9, 7. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay,
got it.
I think they're all different so far. I don't think you got a pattern. A lot of people do patterns. They go 2, 2, 5, 5, or they go 2, 2, 2, 2. I don't think you did something silly like that. And then I want you to think of the last number. Last number, don't say it. You say it now. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You say it. Just say those numbers, all the numbers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 0.
One more time, because I spoke over you. Just say all the numbers again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Look how he stumbled on that 0, Emily Grace. Did you hear that? It's definitely not a 0.
I heard that.
All right.
Well, it was an add-on.
Do you have something to write with over there? Or
Yeah,
no?
I sure do. Yeah.
You got your dry erase board?
You know what? Agate,
Now everybody's going to know my PIN. I've got to change this.
if you don't want to, I'll reveal it only to you. But I want you to do it under the
let's do
table.
it.
Under the table, you guys make sure my eyes are closed.
Okay, it is absolutely closed, and it's under the table. No way you know this.
There it is.
Is it close to your heart, Lance, where there's no way I could see this?
Put it close to your heart.
It is on my heart, O's.
Okay. I'm going to tell you the first thing. I think all your numbers are different. Am I right?
You're wrong.
Oh.
What's that?
You're wrong.
Oof. I wonder which one it was. I think the first number is a 4, isn't it?
Nope.
I'm question for you. Hold on. This is not what you added up. This is your actual PIN code. Is that correct?
It is.
Why am I thinking to myself, I wonder if I'm close with this. See, when we're in person, it's much easier. You asked me if I ever got it wrong. This is it. He got me this time. It's not. Which one is the same? I was seeing 4, 2, 8, 6. Did I get any of those?
You did not.
Nothing?
Nothing.
You added this up. So I'm curious because you did. It's like a birthday and a number, and it came to 6. Was the first number a 4?
It was not.
What do we get? What do we get? Give it to me.
You want me to show it to you?
Yeah. What do we? This guy's. I can't see anything. Unreadable.
3114.
3114 is what it says.
B114. Look at this, Jim. He stumped me. Good thing this guy isn't Joe Burrow. You know what?
You don't
Jim,
want to get in my head, my friend.
Yeah. See,
Lance is untouchable.
he's a non-believer, Oz. He's a non-believer.
I'm a non-believer after this, man. Yep. You know what, Jim? How about this? What is your favorite sport to watch?
My favorite sport to watch is college football.
College football, baby. SEC. What was your favorite sport to play when you were growing up?
Baseball, by far, is the only thing I was good at.
Okay, you're in baseball. What years did you play? How old were you from when you started?
I started when I was 5, and I played until I was 19, and I got cut from the University of Montevallo, but I'm in the Sports Hall of Fame because of my sportscasting, not my not my baseball.
Still hurts this day.
Yeah.
You go back to your Little League days. You ready? I got to make up for this. Lance is hard to read, man.
Okay.
Emily's like, I thought he was better than this. You go back to Little League days. Some player that you had not thought of for years before today. Can you picture this person, either his face or his name?
Yes, I can.
And I want to make sure, and you like that you've checked that this is not. Don't you dare! This isn't a common name. I hope this is not a Michael. I'm hoping this is a tough name. Was this a relatively tough name?
It is a tough name.
Okay, hold up. No more clues. Think in your head of how many letters are in this person's first name. Don't say it. Just think of it.
Don't say it. Okay.
It was quick. It felt quick. Boom. 3, 4, 5, 4 letters, isn't it? Is it 4 letters?
It is 4 letters. Yes.
Watch this, Lance. Mix up those letters for me. Jim, mix up those letters. Grab one of the letters somewhere in the name. Just grab a letter out of the middle of the name and just think of that one letter.
Okay.
C. Are you thinking of a C?
It is C. Yes.
C, and it's a kid who was older than you, great player. What was he? Shortstop? Rick. Was his name Rick?
It really was Rick Log. It really was.
No way.
I approve. I saw him say that.
It really was.
Yeah.
Rick Long, and I told Emily Grace, there's no way he'll get this right. Rick Long.
You know, Jim, when there's running jokes on the show, there's like, what was your running jokes? You guys told me your running joke was you had your first crush or the first girl you ever kissed has been mentioned on the show over and over.
Over and over, yes.
It tells, what is that young lady's name?
Her name is, you're going to laugh, her name is Rebel Fox. Rebel Fox.
That's a name.
Wow.
Yes.
Right. Anything that's been mentioned on the show, I don't want to do. So I like to talk about the one that got away, where your heart beats, where you say to yourself, well, what's wrong? My daughter's hanging out in the back. Why are you sad? Come over.
Oh,
Sad green M&M.
I love the M&M.
Right over here. You ready? My M&M. Hold on. You ready? It's going to be amazing. I want you to think about the one that got away.
Okay.
Emily, how about this? I want to know if this was ever mentioned. Jim, a girl you had a big crush on, or someone else. If it's been mentioned on the show, I don't want it. Have you got somebody in mind right now? Can you picture her face?
Yes, absolutely. 8th grade through graduation. Yep.
Wow. Oh, all right. We're going to end big. We're going to end big on this show. I want you grab that pad of paper or whatever you had written, and I want you to write down that name under the table.
Okay. There's no way you
Hide it.
no way you get this right.
Rebel Fox.
No way you get this right.
Only in Alabama, my friend.
All right, leave that there. That's my big finale. Hit me with, if you got any other questions before I got to run off, let's go question and answer, and then I'm going to try to get in your mind for that last person. That's going to be my big
There's
finale.
no way you get that right. Ask him a question, Emily Grace.
Okay, you go ahead. The football player that you threw at me, do we still have a shot at coming back to that?
I don't know. I'm all over the place. Lance is unreadable.
Oh
this guy's like
I was telling you, I was about to start. We got a kegerator back here. Bud Light's our proud sponsor. I'm pouring a beer if you got my football player right.
We're flipping Lance into the keg right now.
When did you know that this was something you were good at? How did this come about?
I picked this up as a teenager. So this was kind of very early on, learning how to do card tricks. And then it went from card tricks to kind of magic tricks to the point of what if instead of you picking a card, I could just guess the card you're going to think of. And so it's kind of magic, but taken to the next level.
Boy, I bet you were you had massive game at the bars when you were single.
You know what? When I was single, yes, but then I got married, and now I was the ultimate wingman. After that, people were like, come help me out.
Oh, I bet.
Help me out, brother. Tell me what she's thinking. Make me look good.
Is it because I was middle of the road C student that you can read my mind and you can't read Lance's mind? Is it a sign of my lack of intelligence?
Lance deflected, man. Lance was like zigging his egg. It doesn't work on everybody. I'm shocked too. I was close on the 3 and then the 4, and it was that 1 that got me right there. That was, you know what? How about this? I think, Jim, if you were to let's give this a go. Let's give this a go. I want you to take the letters in that girl's first name. Okay, take those letters, and I want you to look down. And you remember how when you picked Rick, you picked the C, and you jumped to a C, and I don't even know. I got the C, and then I backtracked.
Okay.
I want you to take, and let's do this. Think of the first letter in her name.
The first letter? Okay.
Yeah, pick the first letter. Don't say anything. And now we're going to do something quick, spontaneous. Maybe we could do SEC. You know what? Think of a place. How about this? Let's do great old the USA. Think of a state that starts with that letter. Is it possible? If not, we'll do something different. Can you think of a state that's okay?
Absolutely.
How many teams in the SEC?
There are 14. There's about to be 16 when Texas and Oklahoma join.
Perfect. Oh my goodness. You know what? Texas and Oklahoma. I think you almost just said it. You tipped your hand. You got nervous. You were thinking Texas. Name starts with a T. Tony. Is this girl's name Tony? Tony with an I. Show them.
No.
Show them.
Oh,
Wait. What?
How did you get that? But
Tony with an I?
But Texas is who I was thinking of.
That's insane.
Did you hear him go Texas and Oklahoma, the T and the O? He was thinking Tony, and he said T-O, and then I got the N-I.
Wow.
You gave it away.
That is
in your head.
that is impressive.
What?
I apologize to Tony's husband if he's watching.
Tony's like, I knew Jim had a crush on it. It was right around 9th grade where you gave it away.
Is that right?
It's 100%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Absolutely. That is amazing. He's the amazing
All right,
O's.
gang.
Hey, again, if Alabama reaches out, please come to town. We'll buy you dinner or something, okay?
Let's do it. I'm in. 100%. I'm down. I'd love to come down to Alabama.
All right. Thank you, and goodbye to girl not named Bella.
Say goodbye. That's my girl, Esme. Take care, guys.
So long. Have a great day.
Cheer up, buddy.
Have a great weekend. Thanks for having me.
That was pretty amazing.
Now, I kept Rockstar in the room. Rockstar, I kept you in the room.
Wait, so what did he ask you before? Did he ask you something that was leading up to that when because you guys did a conference call in here, and then you brought me the phone into there, and he asked me completely different things than
right.
you
And
guys
I
just
left
talked
the
about.
room when you were in there.
Yep.
Emily Grace left the room, but Rockstar, you were in the room.
He did not. All he said was asking pretty much what he just did there. He said to think of somebody and then write the name down. Look at something about. He asked where Jim's name, what his name is, full name. And then he said, all right, well, just think of a sport that you played when you were little. Now think of some random kid that you grew up with, that you played with.
Played baseball with.
That you don't mention on the show. Make sure that they have not mentioned him on the show. And Dunaway looked it up, and he's like, all right, keep that name. And then he did the same thing with the girl. And he said, first kiss. And Dunaway was like, they're going to know that name. They know who my first kiss was.
Because he said first crush or first kiss. And I said, we talk about it. It's a running joke on the show. And he goes, okay, somebody else that you had a crush on for a long time during your school years. And I've never, I bring up Babby, Susan Allen, Rebel Fox. I never brought up
I've never heard Tony
Lyle.
with an I.
Tony Lyle.
Yeah,
Never
again,
brought it
going
up.
back the 15 years we've been working together, I've never heard Tony with an I.
How did he get the I? Tony with an I.
Because I even said afterwards, I went out there with little T and I said, there's no way he's going to get this. Because what scared me on Rick was the first one I thought of was a kid that had the same name as me, Steve Booth, but James was his official name. And so I was thinking of that. And then I was like, but he's not saying same name. So I went back and went with Rick Long there.
Well, here's what he asked me. He had me get calculator out, and I put in somebody's birthday, just a random person's birthday, and then I put in a PIN number, and then I put that person's age that they turned on their birthday. So that was one number that I added up. He told me to screenshot it. I did. And then he told me to think of a random football player, NFL or college. And he said, I'm going to be disappointed if it's like Alabama's quarterback. Do somebody random. And so he said, Google them, Google images, and then take a picture of that player. And I did it. And if he would have gotten that player, like I could sit here, I could give you guys from now until noon, and you would not get the player right.
Oh, so
and it's an active player.
So it's not a random.
Is an active player?
Yeah, it's an active player, a college player.
Yeah.
I was going to say Altoon.
Yeah.
That's my go-to.
No, active college player, and I took a screenshot. And if he would have said that,
By the way, when are you changing your PIN number? Everybody's like, I've got LT's PIN right
everybody
now.
does. Well, I hadn't used an ATM in 30 years, so I don't know what you're going to use it for.
Wow.
I was so excited about him possibly getting that player, though.
Yeah.
That just means he has to come back.
But he got away from me quickly, didn't he?
Yeah, because you went in. You had told us yesterday that you were going to be hard to read.
Yeah, but I don't know how I make myself hard to read.
But I think mentally you were making it like, I think you were trying to mentally not
be receptive to it,
to not have normal body languages or anything.
I don't know. I mean, my PIN number is my PIN number. I wrote it down.
You did.
Yeah.
But
he's done some amazing stuff. The Tony with an eye was amazing. I've seen him do more amazing
the
work.
most amazing thing was the Bengals camp before the fake to so-and-so throw to Tanner was him getting the lineman saying, what did you go to a convenience store and open the thing, what do you want to drink? Don't tell me what it is and close your eyes. And Oates comes up with a Coke can. He goes, open your eyes. He goes, like, what is it? He goes, it's an orange soda. He's like, damn, I'm wrong. So he opens the Coke and pours in an orange soda.
That was
so cool.
That's what's incredible. But we do need to figure out a time to see him live.
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. B's dead on here. I think LT is a good liar.
I mean, how does this lie with I wrote it down.
No, but facial expressions
Like
and stuff.
micro.
Like you have a good poker face.
Yeah.
I don't know about any of that. I just wanted him to guess football player.
It's amazing that he was able to do this over Zoom. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, and I do think he would be much better in person.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, if anybody in the chat room can guess the player, I'll still get after it. I will.
Yeah. All right. So it's a college player?
Yep. Active college player.
Yeah. So he's going to be playing this year?
He will be playing this year. Absolutely.
Okay. Don't say it out loud. But
I won't. Yeah.
But look at me. Is it a Power 5 player?
Well, I mean, are we giving hints?
Keep eye contact. Is it a Power? No, don't answer. Just look at me.
Are we giving hints?
No, don't give me. Don't answer. I'm saying
so
don't answer.
Are you going to try? Is this a new?
I'm Jim the Mentalist.
Your side hustle?
Goodness.
Jim the Mentalist.
You just got completely picked apart by O's.
No, is it a chance because I made 19 on my ACT?
I don't think it has anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Why would that have anything to do with it?
Because I'm weak-minded.
Pick a number 1 through 2. Okay, got it.
Got it. 1.5. All right, that's our opening segment today. Ferman at the top of the hour. Show being brought to you by a couple of great sponsors. One of them is Storm Restoration Roofing. LT is going to tell us about Hemphill in a moment, but Greg Nelson, Greg from Pell City, is the guy who will get on your roof. Now, he's not going to get up here today because we got thunderstorms and it's going to rain, and he don't want to slide off that roof. But when the weather clears up next week and you want to get that roof inspected after all the rain today and all the rain tomorrow, there is a good chance that you've got some water leakage. It only takes one shingle to get loose. That's where that guy, Greg from Pell City, can ride to the rescue like a superhero. 205-542-3531, 542-3531 for a free no-cost roof inspection. He and his wife own the company. It's been locally owned for over 20 years, A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. The best warranties in the business, and insurance companies trust him. I told you just the other day. Somebody wanted one of his clients, they were going to pay 80%. He kept working. Come on, guys, do 100, do 100, do 100. They did 100. Okay, that's the kind of guy you get. Greg Nelson, Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531. Or look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City. Also,
Joseph Berteo, tight end, Idaho. I mean, I just would have Venmo'd Jason whatever he wanted if that was it.
If that was it. And our friends at Hemphill.
Yeah, Hemphill Services. Make sure that HVAC unit ready to keep up with the changing weather. Just great guys. Adam, Chad, Andrew, 205-229-2090. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. It's Hemphill Services.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, if you're looking for Birmingham's best pizza, you need to stop in and see our friends at Slice Pizza and Brew. It's as local as you can get, from the ingredients that go into every pizza to the beer on tap. For a great lunch or dinner, go see our friends today, Vestavia or Lakeview at Slice.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. While we're changing the game yet again, Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Did you know that colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in America, and that it affects men and women equally? If you're older than 45, Rump Shaker encourages you to talk to your doctor about screening options that are available. Colon cancer is preventable, treatable, and beatable, but early detection is the key. For more information, please visit us. Go to rumpshakerinc.org. Also, 6th annual Rump Shaker 5K coming up Saturday, March 23rd at Regents Field. You can register online, rumpshakerinc.org.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
All right, back with you on the next round. Really a fun segment there with O's, and Little T will send some stuff out a little bit later on. Final home games this weekend for Bama and Auburn. Little T will be down at Neville. I'll be over at Coleman. And I'm going to need to talk to you briefly after the show, because I'm doing something tomorrow that I haven't done since I was in my teenage years at AM 1500 in Alabaster, because of people being spread out doing other things. I am doing play-by-play on the Crimson Tide Sports Network of Lipscomb and Alabama baseball without an analyst.
Okay.
So I've got a baseball game tomorrow night, 6 o'clock.
Have fun with that. I've done it before.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, why don't you find an analyst?
I'm just going with what they are telling me to do, and they don't have an analyst. So I'm doing that tomorrow night at the Joe. It's on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. I don't even know who all carries that, but
here's what I used to do. So I did, and this is when I was with the Elkhart Dusters way back in the summer of '95. Like the first 3 or 4 games, I did it solo. And again, their commercial breaks, they didn't have any sponsorship, so like I couldn't even go to the bathroom for a full game. So what I would do is take the starting pitcher from the night before.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's an arm. They're definitely not going to throw, but you ought to ask.
The best part about it is they do have the pitch clock in college baseball, so that does help a little bit. Our friends at Bandwagon's ready to get you out to the park this weekend, and they're thrilled to announce that their Homewood location in Edgewood, right next to Odie's on Oxmoor Road, is ready to roll. I think they had a soft opening sometime this week. I saw it on social media. So while you're dining in Edgewood, stop by Bandwagon for the best in sporting goods and apparel. With spring break just around the corner for some of you, which is next week for some, they've got everything you need for your beach vacation, from top brands in boys and men's swimwear like Chubby's and Michael's, to water sports games and toys to keep your family entertained for the entire trip and throughout the year at the pool. Next Round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon. Again, the new store open right there in Homewood, right next to the new location of Odie's, right there in the Edgewood region of Homewood. We appreciate the fine folks at Bandwagon. If you have not been by there, great team gear and perfect for the park, pool, and beach and lake all summer long. The wonderful folks at Bandwagon. Okay, quick segment here, and then we'll get back on the clock with Todd Ferman coming up at the top of the hour. But in basketball last night, Austin Peay eliminated North Alabama, so they do not carry on. Mike Davis was fired yesterday after a great year last year at Detroit Mercy. This year, I think they're 1-31 or something.
Awful. That was where we first got the term daddy ball. Remember, Mike's kid was going to break Pete Maravich's record and basically just said, hey, look, every possession you get, let's shoot. But I've got Mike Davis coming up in 4 downs.
In 4 downs, a little bit later on.
First and last time.
Arizona, speaking of last time, wins the final Pac-12 regular season championship.
No surprise there.
Outright, because Washington State got upset, right?
They did. Washington beat Washington State on the road, 74-68. Arizona handles UCLA and Pauley Pavilion easily. That UCLA program is really taking a dive. And the Pac-12, outside of Arizona, they don't have a team that can make a move.
And then there is the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight coming up July 20th down at Cowboys Stadium. We talked about it yesterday. Did you see the betting line?
I did not. Again, I don't know. They haven't said as if it's an exhibition fight or if it's a professional fight, but 58-year-old to 27-year-old. Yeah. I'm going to say Tyson's maybe -140, -150.
Okay, I will tell you that some of the video, at least the video that we were showing, was Mike Tyson at age 55.
Okay, that's not long ago, though.
So that's not long ago, but he's 57 now. He'll be 58 at the time of the fight. Would you be surprised if Jake Paul is the betting favorite at -360?
Okay, well, that tells me this is not going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
-360.
And it might play out where it goes to decision. I mean, if Mike Tyson wants to win this fight, even though he's 30 years older, he will win this fight, right? So that tells me, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the bet.
That's a big number.
There's a number on it, and that's the betting number, -360, Jake Paul. And that's coming up July the 20th. All right, quick break here. When we come back, we will jump into some football news that's out there, including if you love college football, I've got really good information here for you that you will like. Plus, Reese Davis agreed with LT on something yesterday. I'll tell you what that is in the next segment. The show is being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Boy, Oz would have had a hard time reading you back in the day when you had 2200 vision. He should have been able to see you a little clearer now with Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, make the call that I made, 205-969-8100. It seems like everything is going up in price, but not for LASIK at Michelson Laser Vision. Conveniently located UAB Highlands, Dr. Jennifer and Mark Michelson have held the cost of LASIK steady at the pre-inflation pricing from 2 years ago. So call the number that I called 2 decades ago, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the Next Round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. Also, the pre-inflation pricing. Looks like a lot of people are starting to get tax refunds. Use it on the gift of sight for yourself. 205-969-8100 or online, michelsonlaservision.com.
Call the Next Round now at 205-734-0923.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. It's that time of year again. The Legacy Swap and Drop promotion is back. It's bigger than ever. Swap your current auto loan or RV loan to Legacy and drop your interest rate and monthly payment. Don't miss out on this opportunity to save big with our friends at Legacy Credit Union. Not a member yet? That's okay. You too can save by becoming a member today. Head over to swapanddrop.com. Apply in minutes. That's swapanddrop.com. Or visit one of their 9 greater Birmingham area branches. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions may apply. See Credit Union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the Next Round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Rolling on the Next Round. Before LT tells us about our friends at Odie's, there is Drew Holcomb. Do we have that video? Do music singer Drew Holcomb playing golf? Pull that up, Forrester. Earlier this week, and I hate to call this back, but I sent it to Forrester earlier in the week, and I've never gotten to it. But I just want to see if anybody can identify the snake in this video. Drew Holcomb is a guy, I enjoy his music, he and his wife. He's playing golf somewhere.
We'll say that's not venomous. That's something you wouldn't want to do on the live tour.
Yeah. Made a new friend today on the golf course. For those asking, of course, I did not harm the snake. Held it for about 30 seconds, then put it back on the ground. That's a big snake, though. But it's a desert location there. I mean, it's a sandy area, either on the beach or something.
First of all, he's got to have some familiarity with different snakes to know that that's not venomous. I know the shape of the head kind of gives that off. But when did we become a society? I know we're sensitive to everything where you've got to make sure that everybody knows you didn't harm the snake. And when did we become a society where you can't harm a snake? Like, I think any snake, a dead snake is a good snake.
Yeah. I mean, I understand their purpose in the ecosystem, and I'm thankful for them for that purpose, eating rats and things like that. But I don't want the snake on my property. Now he's out on a golf course, so I usually stay away from snakes on a golf course.
Me and Shane, older brother, were probably like 8 and 5. This huge rat snake was going through the backyard, and we got a couple of Louisville sluggers, and we beat it to death.
Right.
And then we put it in a garbage bag, and we took it to the zoo the next day, because that was back before you could Google what type it was. And they gave us the biggest guilt trip.
Yeah.
Like, this is so important to the ecosystem, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
I'm a 5-year-old. What the hell am I supposed to think?
I know what Drew's going through, because when we first moved in our house about 14 years ago now, there was a big snake. The very first night after we moved in, we'd gone to dinner and we came back, and it was laying across. I thought my daughter Harper had pulled a stick into the driveway, and I was like, baby, you can't pull sticks into the driveway. Then it moved, and I ended up measuring it. It was close to 70 inches long and about that thick, and I ran over it with our minivan at the time, back and forth until it bled to death.
My God.
And
you really were backing up?
Yeah, and sliding, braking, getting speed up and sliding over it so that it would, shred its sides and bleed to death.
Just leave it on the driveway?
I did, and let it die overnight. I kept looking out the window until I didn't see movement.
You had to get some blowback. And our man there had to apologize for just holding it.
Well, I posted it on I laid it out and posted it. How does anybody know what kind of snake it is? And I got snake shamed.
Did you put blood?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, because it was a good snake. Apparently, it was a rat snake, including my then father-in-law. Well, I guess he's still my father-in-law. He was like, "You don't kill those kind of snakes. Those snakes are they're the ones that eat the bad snakes. They eat the rats and things
Most
like that."
positive thing he ever said to you?
I don't know.
Leaf Blower said that he stopped killing king snakes when he saw one in his backyard killing a copperhead.
That's it. Everyone's saying that some of those snakes eat the bad snakes. So, but I saw one on the golf course yesterday out at the Meadows. It got up into the 80s yesterday, and I saw one swimming in the water. They occasionally get one of the bad ones in the water over there, and I saw one.
Do you know anybody that's ever been bitten?
I bet my dad did back in the day, but I don't.
By a rattlesnake, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't work for the same person. I think this was actually a water moccasin. Girl that used to live up the street. I mean, it put her in a wheelchair for a little bit.
No, it was Justin from Diplomat. He was walking his dog.
That's another one.
Came into his house, saw a snake. The snake started going for his dog. He jumped in front of it, bit him, and he was in the hospital for like a week.
Yeah, that story has gotten really embellished. I remember him telling me. Yeah, it really has. So, and Justin's a great dude, and I remember when it happened. But the story he told me, he was out throwing a tennis ball to dog. He left the door open. When he came back in, he was walking through the kitchen and he felt something hit his leg.
Oh,
so
God.
Now he's saving his dog.
Well, I that's the story he told me. But just imagine, now he wears boots that go up to your crotch. Now when he goes outside, he is super. I do not mess with snakes ever.
I don't blame him.
It's a guy that we've had on the show. His wife was bitten by a water moccasin when she was a little bit younger. But I think she had a little paralysis for a little bit. She's completely fine now, but I think she was in a wheelchair for a little bit.
They are scary things. Drew Holcomb is okay, and so is the snake there. Our friends at Odie's bringing us this part of the show.
Chris, I was bitten by a cottonmouth. Wasn't so bad. I only spent 8 hours or so in the ER. It's probably 7.5 was in the waiting room.
Yeah. Filling out paperwork.
Odie's Tavern, the weekend is here, which means live music tonight and tomorrow night. 2 great locations. I'm about to pick up a couple of hoodies from Odie's. Have you seen their hoodies?
Oh, I have.
Yeah, good looking, just gray with that green, the classic Odie's look.
I got one of my favorite T-shirts is blue with the green Odie's on.
Yeah, they've got the rope hats now. So you can pick up some gear when you're out there enjoying a great lunch or dinner from Rodney Davis. Award-winning wings. You got the corn dogs, chili, fantastic food, ice cold beer buckets full of Bud Light. Get NC Will Haver, either location, the original in Crestline, or now in Homewood, it's Odie's Tavern.
I refused to camp because when I was a kid, anybody that slept outside in movies or TV shows woke up in those cowboy westerns with a rattlesnake in their sleeping bag. Did you ever see that?
Oh, yeah.
It was common back then.
Well, you remember the go-to was you were supposed to cut and then suck the poison out? And they say that is like the absolute worst thing you can do.
Absolutely. All right, a couple of things here. But while we're talking about strange injuries, this from Fox 4 in Kansas City. Now, they give me no hard numbers here, Fox 4, but of everyone who was treated for hypothermia and frostbite at the Miami-Kansas City playoff game.
Any players?
No players mentioned here. These are fans.
Okay.
They had 35 emergency calls for hypothermia at the game, but some fans went afterwards. But the one location that specializes in frostbites and burns in the Kansas City area, they're saying now that after weeks of treatment, 70% of the patients that came to them from frostbite from that game, that attended that game, 70% of them are facing amputation.
Class action lawsuit coming up
against the NFL.
Yeah, they will 100%, because there were some people, including you, that said they shouldn't have played the game. The players were prepared to play. I mean, it's the elements. None of the players got hurt. The problem is you get people coming in and they have a couple of beers, and I'm going to take my shirt off because it's minus 20 degrees, and your nipple freezes, it turns black, and it falls off. It's not the NFL's fault. You're an idiot.
One guy is expected to lose his entire right hand.
Oof.
Because he took off his glove
to drink beer
for 30 minutes to put up a tent to tailgate. And he only had his glove off for 30 minutes, and the burn has not recovered.
Damn.
and he's going to lose his entire right hand, according to Fox 4 in Kansas City. 70% of them are facing amputations. Again, they don't give me a number if that is 8 or 16 or 30.
I mean, the good news is Kansas City went on to win the Super Bowl.
They did. You didn't lose it in vain.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously, if Miami would have beaten them and you're like, damn, I was at the game where Miami beat us in the first round of the playoffs and I lost my hand.
Some of those are obviously just a finger or just a toe, but that is
Maverick says
sad.
no one is winning any lawsuit. I would feel really comfortable in our litigious society and how many settlements are out there to make this go away. They probably already have attorneys on the site for especially these major cases. Let's just go on and settle.
Yeah, and by the way, I know how local news works. Fox 4 got tipped off probably because a good attorney to get it out there and get it going. Get that churning right there. All right, a couple of sports things being brought to you by our friends at the University of Montevallo, montevallo.edu. Take a look at this beautiful campus at Montevallo. It is more than just sports. Beautiful campus, great enrollment. It's a great liberal arts school that you can go down there. Business, broadcasting. Look at that theater department right there, music department. New buildings going up all the time. All you have to do is go online to montevallo.edu to get more details about that beautiful campus there in Central Alabama. But also, if you like sports, 23 NCAA Division II fully funded sports. Find out why you belong at Montevallo, montevallo.edu, montevallo.edu. All right, so Fox Television. It hasn't been announced yet, but it is coming out through leaks. They're going to have on main Fox a prime time Friday night college football game every week starting this season.
I love it. And, this would have been one of those, if I was still in college or still going out a lot, I'd be like, damn, going to probably miss that game. But because I absolutely do nothing, I'm excited about this. And we always get Friday night action, but it's not normally really good action.
Well, Thursday night's gotten really bad. Friday nights were the better of the Friday night, Thursday night games. Friday nights were better. Well, Fox says these will be either Big 10, Big 12, or Mountain West games. It'll be on main Fox, not on FS1. And they're still going to have the big noon kickoff as their biggest game of the week. They will decide in May what the schedule looks like, but we should know the whole schedule in May. And they're not shying away that some of these are going to be big games.
Well, I think Fox has got the best 1-2 combo when it comes to Analyst and Joel Klatt and Brock Heward. And you wonder, is this game big enough to put Brock on it?
Yeah, I mean, prime time.
I would
on Fox. Is that a Brock
at least
Heward
year
game?
One to bring people in.
It depends on the quality of game you're going to get, but if you're putting your biggest game at 11 a.m. Central, 12 o'clock Eastern, big noon kickoff. Is this a place that you would put maybe your second biggest game? Like, would it become the biggest game in the Big 12 every week? So they get that standalone Big 12 game because the big noon kickoff, the biggest game is most of the time going to be in the Big 10.
Yeah, and I think the Big 12 is a go-to because I think you still have some appealing matchups. But if you're an Oak State fan, you're a Baylor fan, do you mind playing a Friday night home game?
No, not if it gives me national attention because with the SEC and the Big 10 super conferences now, it is going. My game's going to get lost. My battle of Oklahoma State playing TCU or Arizona and Utah may get lost on a Saturday of all the big SEC and Big 10 matchups.
Right.
But if you put me on Friday night, that's a big time stage.
Yeah, let's just say I'm a Kansas State fan or I'm a student. And it shortens your week. Like Thursday becomes Friday. Friday is an all-day tailgate leading up to that game. Right. And then you get your Saturday completely free to watch other football.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I wouldn't want it every week, but I'd like it once or twice a season. And I think this could be really, really good if you get the right matchups. But I would put a guy like Brock and his crew on these games to show the importance early on.
Me too. G. Curbo says Brando will get this game. I don't think so. I think Brando will be on FS1 with some of the other games on Saturday, opposite of the big games on ABC and ESPN. The Big Ten does use 3 networks, Fox, CBS, and NBC, but Fox is getting a good choice of games, including the biggest one every week at 11 o'clock. It'll be interesting to see what the Friday night schedule looks out like. CBS, NBC, Fox will get together and do their drawing, their lottery, their picks, their draft, whatever they do in May. So we should know that schedule into May, into early June there. One more note right here. Reese Davis and Lance Taylor agree on one thing. It involves the college football playoff. What do you think it is?
Well, is that who, when I was walking in, were you like, I can't believe Reese and Lance agree on something?
I don't know if I said I can't believe.
Okay.
They agree on something.
I've agreed with a lot of things Reese says.
But I did say they agree on something.
Okay.
He agrees with you. Since we've expanded from 4, we should just go ahead and make it 16 and play the first 2 rounds on campus. And that's what you've said since I don't know when. Reese is right there with you. What's the difference between 14 and 16? Let's just make it 16 and play 2 weeks on campus.
Well, I had said it when we knew the expansion was going to 12, but then when they started before we've even gotten to 12, talking about 14, why would you not go 12 to 16, make it an even number, and have those 2 first-round games?
Yeah.
I think that's excitement for everyone.
Yeah, so Reese and LT, the same mind when it comes with 16 and playing 2 rounds on campus. All right. When we come back, Todd Ferman from the desert. Can't wait to get Todd on to talk about a big weekend in college basketball, some interesting NFL news out there, and a lot more with Ferman as we roll on today. The show being brought to you in part by our friend Dr. B, getting LT's hair exactly right for the weekend. Man, that salad was flowing yesterday in the sunroof. 82 degrees at one point yesterday here in Alabama. Sunroof open, hair flowing. Hard to keep the ladies from jumping on the car at that point.
My sunroof was not open. Are you talking about for you?
For you. I mean, I did have my sunroof open, but my hair was not blowing.
Isn't there something nice about that? When you get off your motorcycle, you can just take your helmet off. You don't have to worry about your hair.
Ah, so good. I just do this.
I made Taylor and the folks laugh the other day. I was on the golf course with our friends at Bent Brook, and it was the windy day of golf last week. And I was standing out there without a hat on, and I was like acting like I was getting my hair to blow in the wind. My shirt was flapping. The trees were blowing behind me, and I was like keeping the hair out of my eyes because of the wind. It was a funny moment.
20 years ago, if you would have called Dr. B, who knows? Maybe you would actually be doing that. He's been doing this for more than 20 years. When my hair started to thin out, I asked around. Dr. Beckenstein is the name everyone mentioned for more than 20 years. Women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training, and genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. Beckenstein today. Make the call that I made. Schedule the consultation. Tell him the next round sent you. 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. My hair is more than doubled in thickness. For more information, t3hair.net.
Everything Alabama, all the time. Subscribe and set alerts at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
There are so many things I love about walk-ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with walk-ons.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Let me introduce you to the new line of Red Wing athletic work shoes. This great new line is perfect for the industrial athlete, the guy who is working on concrete or running through the warehouse all day long. Red Wing Athletics use the same technology found in a running shoe, with soft mesh uppers, a lightweight aluminum toe for protection, and non-slip soles. This shoe is a winner. This comfortable new line of safety shoes are perfect for warehousing and light manufacturing. Plus, the colors look great. Stop by your local Red Wing shoe store, have your feet measured, and test drive a new pair of Red Wing athletic work shoes.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Boy, is there anybody nicer than Todd Ferman? He allows me to leak over the top of the hour, 4 minutes late to call him. He never gets mad at me. He joins us now from Bet the Board podcast, one of the great numbers guys in the world. Ferman, I was coming in today. I was going to brag about my week. I'd hit 3 or 4 parlays this week with point totals over and under with player scoring, and I thought I was going to walk in with a winning record. And then I had 2 games last night that I was a loser, so I limp in 3-3 this week. But I had a couple of scares that went my way this week. Upon further review, Ferman, I got to ask you. I had Tennessee in South Carolina the other night, and I had Tennessee minus 6.5, and they had a putback at the buzzer that they actually stayed on the broadcast, went to the review, would have been the difference between a winning or a losing ticket. Do you find that broadcasts more and more now are for meaningless buckets, getting it right and staying on the broadcast to let people know more than they used to in yesteryear?
Well, first things first, I appreciate the extra 4 minutes. It allowed me to go across the betting markets and try and find a better futures price on Marquette, who comes into this weekend off back-to-back losses since you anointed them your NCAA tournament sleeper, Dunaway. So I appreciate that. But
big win over UConn coming tomorrow.
Tyler Kolek's never going to be back in that lineup, Ferman. He's done.
When you look at the betting landscape, I think it's important for these broadcasts to stay on these games. Normally we get the cutaways during whether it's college football, the NFL to a lesser extent. When there's a side or a total hanging in the balance, they know that people that are watching in the middle of the week usually have some sort of investment in that particular outcome. So with ESPN now with their own skin sportsbook at ESPN Bet, you can understand the importance and some of the scrutiny they would come under if they decided, you know what, this game's already over. We don't care if it falls 5, it falls 7, or anywhere in between. We're going to move on to our next broadcast. So I think it's smart and strategic because they know why people are locked into a game like that just so happened to open 5, close 6.5, and lo and behold, the Volunteers get a big win on the road in Columbia by 7.
Ferman, we don't see this a lot, but bad play out of Lance's lock last night. I did give out Temple plus the points against UAB, and that number continued to stretch and stretch and stretch. And now there is an investigation on irregularities. Can you kind of tell us what your thought is on this and what exactly you think is going on?
I mean, look, everyone thinks that Nevada, to some extent, is a sports betting capital. Then it's New Jersey. But the last 2 big point-shaving, at least insinuations or regular betting patterns, have involved Alabama sports. It's Alabama baseball and now UAB basketball. Although, look, this looks to be a lot more about Temple and them kind of throwing in the towel. This story will be interesting to follow because you mentioned this number opening 2.5 and kind of zooming out to 7.5 with no major injury news. And I think what's always fascinating when you see a game move like this, especially on screen for the world to see, that typically you're going to have a little bit of buyback. And some of the guys that I spoke to, not here in Nevada, but in other jurisdictions, said a lot of the players that'll typically come in and do what we call scalping, just taking a price that has moved too far from the open, regardless of the teams involved, they didn't see any buyback. So you begin to wonder why that was the case. I mean, this was a Temple team that hadn't been terrible down the stretch, but I am very curious if anything comes to light here, and you hope if there's something nefarious, more so than players just not wanting to be out there or quitting, that the price gets paid in some capacity. But it's one of those things, and unfortunately, what we have to deal with in college sports more so than pros, but it's why you have some of those governing bodies in place that can do their due diligence and not allow this just to get swept under the rug.
Jay Price making a point. Remember, as you were saying, it's Temple that's under the investigation, the inquiry, not the UAB side of that, who had the easy win last night, 100-72. I'm interested. We had a sort of a preview of what most people think will be the NBA Finals if everything goes chalk last night. Nuggets beating the Celtics. Is that something, when you see these regular season matchups, that you will call back if that ends up being the championship matchup, where you will go back to a game like last night and use that as you're playing out who you're going to favor and who you like in those contests?
You never want to just use a one-game sample size, and I think it's interesting that when you look at the way that number opened and where it closed, with the Celtics a 1.5 to 2 point road favorite, it just speaks to recency bias playing a major role. And when you look at the Denver Nuggets, they're kind of going through the motions, as a lot of teams do during the NBA regular season. But as for uninspiring as they've been, still 25-6 at home, one game out now in the Western Conference for that number one overall seed. As we know, the Timberwolves will be without Karl Anthony Towns, having surgery on his meniscus. We'll see what the Oklahoma City Thunder are. But I think it just goes to show that for as good as the Celtics have been, and they've been dynamic up until this two-game losing streak, that the Eastern Conference can't really hold a torch to some of the top teams in the West. And when you talk about Boston making those right decisions and right plays late in ball games, is Jason Tatum the guy that you can trust with the ball in his hands? Jaylen Brown having the big day, Tatum kind of an afterthought. And you look at how he shot the ball from deep in the final 5 minutes of tight games. Not something to write home about. And I think it's why Denver, when we look at the playoff landscape, will still be the team to beat until further notice.
The Big 12, it used to seem like when we roll into tournament action, it seems like it was kind of the Kansas Invitational. And 17 of the 25 Big 12 tournaments have been won by Kansas or Iowa State. Both of those teams really good. And we're getting a rematch tomorrow of Kansas at Houston. But do you think going into this tournament, Houston will actually be the favorite?
I think they should be the favorite when you look at what the Cougars have done so far this season. I mean, 14-3, a chance to win the conference outright with a win. Otherwise, they could end up in a tie if Iowa State ends up with 14-4 record alongside the Cougars. Look, this is a Houston team that we've seen over the last couple of years. We wondered how it would look when they had to adjust to playing a big boy conference schedule week in, week out. And I think, if anything, this will have this team a lot more battle-tested when they get into the NCAA tournament. Although when you dig into the Cougars' numbers, still some concerns about their ability to shoot the ball, and if they're not able to take advantage of teams where they can't get to the glass, do they have enough to go out there and win the national championship? You look at this Big 12 from top to bottom, and you mentioned it, Lance. I mean, Kansas, a team that typically has dominated when they're playing in Kansas City, and I'm very curious to see how they go out there and perform, because an underwhelming season by every sense of the word when you look at how Bill Self's team has performed. We haven't talked about Kansas finishing on that top line, but when you're fighting with Texas Tech to try and make sure that you can finish in the top four and get one of those early round buys, it raises some red flags for me. But just when you write the Jayhawks off for dead, we know that Bill Self gets his team to go. The team, though, that I want to see is actually BYU. You look at a side that's played a little bit better away from Provo, how they'll fare in this kind of environment.
We get ready for the final weekend in the SEC, and Alabama has lost 3 of 4 against some really good competition: Kentucky, Tennessee, Florida, 2 of those on the road, Tennessee at home. Arkansas this weekend. Where are you on this Alabama team right now? Arkansas tomorrow, where they really need to win to try to secure a double bye before they go to Nashville.
My big concern with Alabama is kind of what it's been for the last couple of seasons. When this team is going well offensively, there's not a team in the country that can beat them. But over the course of a deep run, whether it's the SEC tournament or we're talking about the Big Dance, can Alabama sustain that level of shooting dominance for a 3-week period, knowing that defensively it leaves a lot to be desired? I mean, you look at some of the scores in the games that Alabama has played in, when you're consistently penciling in your opponent for 80-plus points, not a recipe for success. success, and we saw that on full display in Gainesville. You give up 105, you gave up 117 in Lexington, and even in that 15-point win against Ole Miss, you're giving up nearly 90 points to the Rebels in Oxford. So that's my biggest concern with Alabama. I don't think Arkansas poses much of a threat tomorrow, but I do think Alabama wants to get a comfortable win, have a little bit of momentum going into the conference tournament. It wouldn't shock me at all if we were talking about Alabama, breaking the century mark and beating Arkansas tomorrow by 20 plus.
Hey, NFL free agency, how many books out there allow you to bet on destination? Like your two top free agents right now out there, probably Chris Jones and Kirk Cousins. Is there the ability to bet where they will land? And if so, let's just go with Kirk Cousins. If you have any idea or where you would lean, he will end up.
Yeah, a lot of these are more offshore products than what you're going to find in some of the regulated jurisdictions. I haven't had a chance to look at mybookie.ag to see if they have some numbers on these players. The one thing that gets so challenging when you dig into a lot of the free agents that as soon as the NFL insiders tweet about them, or in the case of what we saw earlier today, that Russell Wilson was seen at Newark Airport, headed to Pittsburgh to meet with them, information that may not actually be actionable is going to drive the market a lot more than anything else. So if you happen to have better sources, it is a great situation to be in. But when I look at Kirk Cousins, I actually haven't seen updated odds. For me, the two teams that I think make the most sense just from a football standpoint would either be the Atlanta Falcons or maybe the Denver Broncos if they wanted a veteran under center. Now, that's just me talking about some of the X's and O's. Unfortunately, have not seen prices to know if odds makers feel the exact same way.
Yeah, but a guy like Saquon Barkley, and I know this running back free agent is crazy, but if he lands with the Eagles or the Texans, that obviously does that change the way you perceive that certain team for the upcoming win totals for the year? Does a running back move the meter anymore at all?
It will for the general public, and it will for the fantasy players out there. But in terms of odds makers adjusting, basing things off a running back and his arrival, not going to do a whole heck of a lot. Christian McCaffrey, I know we talked about during the season, the most valuable player at his position. And when you look at CMC, given what he means as a runner and receiver in that 49ers offense, at most, depending on who you talk to, the low end of 1.5 points, upwards of 2 points. Saquon Barkley, not as dynamic as a pass catcher. He's a half-point guy, if that, and a team like Philadelphia that already had some depth at the running back position, or even the Houston Texans that were getting good production last year out of Devin Singletary, not going to change much more than the narrative in terms of their actual numbers and some of the overall power rating adjustments that you'll make.
Will you be able to bet, and would you bet on the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight July 20th?
Look, Mike Tyson got himself involved in a little bit of controversy before when we saw one of these celebrity boxing matches. So I would be extremely skeptical about his level of commitment in terms of getting ready for this event. I do think you're going to have a price available, though. Netflix is doing everything they can to make this a live streaming event, and I think you're going to see a number of books take relatively low limits, all things considered. But I am very curious to see an official price when it hits the betting board. Have not seen one just yet.
All right, that is Todd Ferman, Bet the Board podcast on the JohnsonRVCenter.com hotline. Enjoy your weekend, man. And by the way, last week NASCAR race was an easy pick at Kyle Larson. Looking forward to Phoenix. I love that racing at that track. Do you like the Phoenix track?
I do, and I think I'm very curious to see with a 50-minute practice that we're going to get a little bit of an adjustment to the short track aero package, if that gives any teams a competitive advantage. The one thing that we saw last year, at least in the championship race, the practice data was pretty indicative of the cars to beat, and you can see some of that reflected in the odds market with Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Ross Chastain, and some of the other JGR guys, all priced at right around 11-1 or shorter. Would not be running to bet any of those favorites now, but did play a matchup early on. And for those NASCAR fans out there, encourage them to download the Stay Green podcast. We broke down a lot of the marquee drivers in the field. Quick 35-minute listen to get folks ready for the Shriners 500 at Phoenix on Sunday.
You know my Marquette this weekend, my Marquette pick?
Let's fire away. I'm all ears, but it's harder to fade drivers that you're going to recommend in NASCAR for me than it is to fade the Golden Eagles for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I think we get Chase back this weekend, Chase Elliott.
And look, the sport would love that if Chase Elliott went out there and ran significantly better than what we've seen through the first 3 races. Never a good thing when his 2 teammates have shown speed, and Kyle Larson and William Byron, and Chase seems to be a step behind. So all eyes, as they are every weekend in NASCAR, on the 9 car, hoping that he can end that 35-plus race winless streak and get the most popular driver back into victory lane.
Chase needs to tighten that Hans device this weekend.
Buckle up.
I was going to say, LT, is that the only NASCAR term you actually know? And if so, then it's still a tremendous usage of the term in its proper context.
There we go.
That's Todd Ferman, Bet the Board podcast, and the other is the Stay Green podcast. I get that right? Brown did not leave me that information.
Yep, it's still on the same Bet the Board channel, and we'll also have some college basketball coverage coming up once the field gets announced. But NASCAR every week until we crown a champion, and it keeps folks busy throughout the spring and summer months with no football to kind of whet those gambling appetites.
All right. Looking forward to it, Ferman. Thank you so much. Todd Ferman there. JohnsonRVCenter.com hotline. We appreciate him. Show being brought to you by a couple of great folks. One of them, our friends at Hemp Hill again. Hey, you know that heat's coming. You don't want to be stuck with a bad air conditioner. Go ahead and get that thing checked out.
Here's the number, 205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew. The guys that Birmingham have trusted this brand, Hemp Hill Services, since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. It's hard to stop a train. Call them today, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And before I tell you about what Late Kick Josh was talking about last night, our buddy Josh Pate, who was on the show with us back on Monday, you can check that podcast out. Our podcasts are up. Any guest, anytime. You can go back and see Josh Pate when he was with us in 2021 if you want to on our YouTube channel. But it's available on Apple and Spotify if you're an audio-only person. You can check it out there. Like and subscribe all the platforms at Next Round Live. It makes Taylor Corn smile every time someone goes and gives us a thumbs up, or if they heart something, or if we get new subscribers. So make Taylor smile this weekend by liking and subscribing on all of our platforms, including TikTok at Next Round Live and Next Round Live. On what Pate is thinking, after I tell you that our friends at Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics will get you back in the game, get you back at work. Several ways you can end up needing Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Working in the yard and you're not perfectly stretched when you're trimming hedges or pushing that lawnmower around. Maybe you're jumping into the pool with the kids and you tweak something there. Or maybe you're playing softball, kickball, wiffle ball. Maybe you're out there with pickleball, any of the balls. Things can happen as you get older. Get back into the game with Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. 205-512-3885, 512-3885, or go to their website, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. precisionsportsortho.com/2024. Orthopedic care better together with our friends at Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. All right, I think you're going to agree with Josh Pate as well. He said if he was in commissioner, he would do one thing. And I think you two would agree with Josh on this. You've mentioned it before. Josh Pate said if he was commissioner, what he would do would go back to smaller conferences and play them that way. And that's the way he would do it. He would go with 10 in the SEC. He'd go small Big Ten. He'd bring back the Big East. He'd bring back the old Southwest Conference. He'd bring back the Big 8. He'd bring back the Pac-10, not the Pac-12. He'd bring back the Pac-10. He'd bring back the smaller ACC. He'd have a handful of independents out there, and that's the way he would do college football moving in the future. That would excite me a little bit more.
I would love it. Again, we're going to lose a lot of nostalgia from college football, where it was, even just a few years ago, to where it's going to be in the next couple of years. I wonder, though, when you start to minimize the conferences, just as far as just sheer numbers, we know the conference championships aren't going to be nearly as important moving forward. Would you just scrap them all together?
The Big Ten and the SEC is saying no, they're going to end up.
I'm just saying you get a lot of games that are going to be played. We're going to get that anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be like week 17. I don't even know what it's going to be like. I don't know what it's going to be like. Like the SEC and the Big Ten championship game, it's going to matter more in the Big 12 and the ACC because you're playing for that automatic bid. No guarantee you're going to be the wild card. But the SEC, Big Ten, those two teams are already going to be in there. You're going to be playing for seeding. It's going to take a little bit of it away, unless we do it in a different way.
Do you like that Big East?
I would want Miami back in there. Miami wouldn't give up the ACC, I'm sure.
You remember how good the Virginia Tech Miami games were early part of the century?
Yeah, that Big East would not excite me, to be honest with you.
I was joking about that, by the way.
Yeah. but I'm looking. I mean, the Big 8 would be exciting. The old Southwest Conference coming back.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool.
Would be really cool. Really cool.
I tell you what, Texas and Oklahoma get a much better draw there, don't they?
Yeah, and by the way, it's not historic because Oklahoma was a Big 8 team. And Texas, of course, was in the Southwest. I'm trying to...
In that Southwest, do you think Arkansas in 10 years would win a Southwest championship?
Yes. Arkansas is one of those teams that would benefit going, not financially, but wins and losses from leaving the SEC. Yeah. You just go back and look at their history. All right. It'll never happen, Josh Pate, but I like where your head's at, buddy, and I like it when you come on our show. When we come back, we will do our 4 downs today. LT's got that ready to go. Later on today, a mystery 5th hour for you. Go back and look at the Respect the Process. All that stuff pops up for you over on Disrupt the Media. Disrupt the Media is our YouTube channel there for other shows, and it has War Down Pods with the Village Vice, Zach and Brad and the guys getting ready for a basketball weekend in spring football over there. Roll Tide Pods has things like Respect the Process. Chris and Kelly talking about spring practice there, and other great shows like Elephant in the Room with Jake and Mick Gillespie. It's always rolling over there. Roll Tide Pods. Go like, subscribe, and set your alerts so you'll get all the new information coming from all of us here at Disrupt the Media. And don't forget the Meltdown. Later today, it's Academy Award weekend. They'll be talking about that big show today and on Monday on that show, the 96th Oscars. The Meltdown every day at 2 o'clock. Set your alerts there, and that's right here on this platform, The Meltdown with Tim and Luntz. We're back in a moment on TNR.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap. Did you know that colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in America and that it affects men and women equally? If you're older than 45, Rump Shaker encourages you to talk to your doctor about screening options that are available. Colon cancer is preventable, treatable, and beatable, but early detection is the key. For more information, please visit us. Go to rumpshakerinc.org. Also, 6th annual Rump Shaker 5K coming up Saturday, March 23rd at Regents Field. You can register online, rumpshakerinc.org. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Back with you on the next round. Sometimes you don't get to watch all the show, but we always tell you that it's available. You can go back to the beginning right now and watch the whole show at your convenience. Slushy51 says, Lance, what do you think about the headline Temple men's basketball game against UAB flag for unusual gambling activity? We've talked about it a couple of times today already, but quickly, it was all about the Temple side, and you said at one point you thought this was going to become a bigger deal for Temple at some point here.
Well, I think it will become a big deal for Temple because you look at their last two outings, they haven't played. And I thought, just kind of a pride element and where UAB was coming off their loss this past weekend. I thought Temple, you were getting a little value. But that number ends up exploding. I think it was UAB like 3.5 to open. It went to 7.5, and
it was 1.5 when it opened. And at one point in the day, it was to 8. And I think it went off at like 7.5.
Yeah, it went off at 7.5, and they lose by 28. But they were never in that game.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a completely dominated game by UAB, and
they got flagged because that line moved, and there were no injuries, no suspensions, or any of that reported.
Well, and if you look at how Temple has played over the last couple of weeks, I mean, that's what's kind of disturbing, and you just wonder if internally something's going on there, and it kind of reminds you. I don't know if you ever saw the not great movie Blue Chips.
Oh, yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
Was Nick Nolte, back to your girl's name, Tony. I think his point guard was Tony with a Y, and I think he was the guy that was actually shaving points.
Yeah, and if you're wondering about Tony with an I, that's on my board right here. That was the last answer with the Mentalist. Some of you, Paul and other, asking how did O's the Mentalist go on the show today. You can go see it on our platform. Little T is sending that out everywhere, or go back to the beginning of the show to watch it. Just really a fascinating little time. I enjoyed the heck out of it, but nothing surprised me that he was not able to read LT because he is a tough nut to crack there. Legacy can get your loan right, whether you got a car loan, truck loan, boat loan, or something like that. You can lower the rate and swap it over from whatever provider you have to our friends at Legacy and save yourself a lot of money overall and monthly with the Swap and Drop program. Go to that website, swapanddrop.com, or shoot that QR code right there and get that auto loan rate down and save yourself a ton of money. Switching from whatever provider you have to Legacy right now is just a smart play for you. Swap and Drop, swapanddrop.com. Get details, 9 area locations, and you can get details about engaged checking and so much more at legacycreditunion.com, proud supporter of UAB athletics. All right, Slice brings us our 4 downs. LT will tell us about Slice after the 4 downs. But when you talk about 4 downs, LT's got them for us today. And we always start with what, Rocky?
First down.
Okay, I might have 5 for us today if you're okay with that.
I'm okay with that. We got time.
Let's start with more amazing that they actually coached in a national championship game. Sonny Dykes with TCU or Mike Davis with Indiana?
Mike Davis with Indiana he followed, was he the interim?
Yeah.
He was the interim coach
Bobby Knight.
when Bobby Knight got fired, and he took that team all the way to the Final Four.
Yep.
It was an amazing run. That's pretty dang impressive. I think throughout history, we'll look back that Sonny Dykes had TCU in a national championship game and think that's crazy as well. Right now, I'm going to say Mike Davis having Indiana in the Final Four is more crazy. If you ask me that question 10 years from now, I think my answer is going to be Sonny Dykes, but right now it's Mike Davis.
Yeah, I mean, TCU, that brand playing for the national championship in today's college football was crazy, but I think Sonny Dykes is actually a better coach than Mike Davis. When you look at it, they're both basically 500 coaches. I think
Richard says you're mispronouncing Coach Orgeron.
Yeah.
He's more amazing than both of those.
I will go Mike Davis here.
Yeah, Mike Davis for me too, because listen, I respect what Sonny did, but there's a little bit of a popularity contest, and then you got to win one game to get there. For Mike to take that team through 4 games in the NCAA tournament and get them to it's tough to get to a Final Four, brother.
Oh, hey, no doubt. But I mean, for TCU to be able to, and what the more amazing thing is, TCU loses their conference championship game, still gets in, and then beats a Michigan team to play for a national championship.
That's right.
Second down.
Better chance of the upset tomorrow. Arkansas over Bama and Tuscaloosa, or Georgia over Auburn and Neville?
Georgia's actually playing pretty good basketball right now, and But I still think Arkansas has the players that just haven't connected the dots this year. So they, to me, are a more dangerous roster. And I do think Alabama's a little tired. And I think Alabama is searching for some answers right now. I think it's a more dangerous game for Alabama against Arkansas than it is for Auburn against Georgia. You?
I would say Arkansas over Alabama. The way Alabama's playing right now, I don't think you can fully trust them. They can shoot their way out of a game right now. Arkansas could get hot. I would say Arkansas over Alabama.
Third down.
Randomly, today is National Oregon Day. I don't know what pops out in y'all's head when I throw out National Oregon Day.
Skin.
No, as the state.
Oh, state of Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon.
Not like the pancreas.
Yeah, I'll pronounce it like one of our old guests used to. Oregon.
Oregon. National Oregon Day.
Okay, so with that said, best athlete from that state, would you go Steve Prefontaine or Danny Ainge?
Well, I think it doesn't get a lot of credit because it's track. Now, we'll say Danny Ainge was also a Major League Baseball player.
Yeah, played for the Blue Jays and the Celtics.
Yeah.
And get this, he was first state quarterback. So he was all state in all three.
Right.
Had an opportunity to play college football, decided to play college basketball at BYU and baseball, but played professionally for the Blue Jays.
That's right.
And the Celtics.
And very few people know that John Elway I think he went as far as AAA with the Yankees back in the day. But Danny Ainge, I had his Toronto Blue Jays baseball card at one point.
Oh, I had it too.
Yeah, and I mean, he was a legit, made it up to the big leagues.
Yeah, Steve Prefontaine, if you've never seen the Billy Crudup version, I haven't seen the Jared Leto, but the Billy Crudup Without Limits is a really, really good film with Monica Potter and Donald Sutherland. Highly recommend that. And
it launched Nike.
It did. You know, Bowerman, his coach, who's played by Donald Sutherland in that movie. I mean, Phil Knight, helped out, but Prefontaine he was the superstar on campus.
Yep.
And I think at the time of his death, when he was 24 years old, when he flipped his car, he basically held every record of every event he ran in. World records.
And this would have been the early 70s?
I think he competed in the 70s, but I think he passed away in latter 70s maybe.
Yeah, but early 70s,
80s.
he was, track and field was just bigger back then.
Well, when he was supposed to win his gold medal was when we had the boycott of the games, and I think that was 72?
72 was Munich.
Yeah, did we not boycott Munich?
No, 72 was Munich, 76
was Moscow.
80 was Moscow. That was when we
No, 76 was Montreal.
Montreal, yeah.
But one of those years, because in the film it shows how disappointed they were because he was clear-cut favored to win the gold.
Yeah, it may have been 1980. It was 80. Yeah.
Okay.
Because his death came late 70s, so it would have been after 76 before the 80 Olympics in Moscow, and we didn't go.
Or I think his death came after that because he was I don't know, but I think he was expecting to compete. He got the news that we had boycotted. Yeah.
Fourth down.
James Vanderbeek, 47 years old. You probably know him from Dawson's Creek.
Dawson's Creek, and also
Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues.
So
I don't want your life.
I was going to ask you best fictional quarterback: Moxon, Shane Falco, which I've never seen that movie. Reno Hightower, Best of Times, Kurt Russell. Willie Beeman, another one I haven't seen, Any Given Sunday. And then Johnny Utah, who we only saw him really play on the beach in Point Break. But which one of those fictional quarterbacks was your favorite?
You got Keanu twice, so you got Shane Falco.
Yeah,
right?
you do.
Yeah.
And he was the guy that can't throw a football, according to Rick Neuheisel.
Yeah, he can't. I don't think he looks good. I don't think Vanderbeek looks really good throwing the ball. And
Stephen Willie Beeman, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever heard
that. Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
I forgot who directed Any Given Sunday, and it's a pretty good collection of a cast. But originally, P. Diddy was cast as Willie Beeman, but he couldn't throw a football.
Yeah.
And so they got Jamie Foxx to be able to.
I think I would go Jamie Foxx.
I'm going to go Reno Hightower, Best of Times. When he came out in the white cleats at halftime, Kurt Russell played the part. It was kind of a Joe Namath ripoff.
Yeah, okay.
That was a good one, though.
The old white shoes.
And I've got a fifth down for you.
Fourth down.
Okay, better chance of happening. One of these coaches wins a national championship at their current school. Brian Kelly, Kalen DeBoer, Steve Sarkisian, and Ryan Day, or Oppenheimer to win Best Picture Sunday night.
I think 3 of the 4 of those coaches all win a national championship at their school. But Oppenheimer's going to walk away with this, right?
Oh, it's one of the biggest locks we've seen from Best Picture, I think.
Yeah. So Oppenheimer's the answer here.
Yeah, I think a couple of those coaches will win. I mean,
Lunsford's microphone, please. Meltdown. More on this later today, maybe. Are you guys talking Oscars on the Meltdown?
Full Oscar preview today.
Okay. If Oppenheimer doesn't win, who would it be?
I don't even know who's next in the odds because they're like minus 10,000 to win. But
it's minus 10,000.
I think it's Poor Things.
It'd probably be Poor Things or The Holdovers next. If I had to guess, Barbie with it. Probably fourth.
I liked Oppenheimer a lot, but like to me, American Fiction was so good. And I would love to see. I know
you'd love to see the upset with American Fiction.
I would love, and Cillian Murphy's going to win Best Actor, and that's deserving. But Jeffrey Wright was so good. Paul Giamatti played Paul Giamatti. He's a great actor, but The Holdovers was one of my favorite films of the year. But Oppenheimer, Cillian Murphy, Christopher Nolan, I mean, they're going to sweep.
Yeah.
Right now, MyBookie is minus 5,000 for Oppenheimer. Next is Poor Things at plus 2,000.
Oh, there you go. You remember we used to do this?
Big gap.
Lunsford, back even when you were an intern, I used to do the 5 major categories on the Friday before, but it has become so predictable, it's not even worth doing.
Because of the odds?
Yeah, I can tell you right now without even looking at who it's going to be because it's so easy.
Yeah.
All right. That is our 4 and 5 downs today, brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Hey, get in this weekend for lunch or dinner. You can get a slice and a salad right now at one of those 4 great locations created by the late Jeff Bajaya. His brothers, Jason and Chris, continue to celebrate his legacy. You see the picture of me, Dunaway, and Brown over there. That's at the Crestline location. Of course, they've got the original in Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo. Stop in, see them today. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
Okay, so it's the 96th Academy Awards.
Will you watch?
Will I watch? I mean, when the music awards I watch usually, I don't usually watch this. But I may.
So it used to be like all the major sports championships, like were a Super Bowl, World Series, NBA Finals, College Football Championship, Final Four. But the Oscars was always in like my top 5 or top 10. Absolutely loved it, but I don't think I've seen it in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I've seen 5 of the 10 films, I think, up for Best Picture right now.
But you checked out because of politics.
Yeah, and it's just so predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, the combination, yeah.
See, I like the music not for the actual award.
It's all Barbie stuff, but Sunday.
I like the music because of the live performances at the music awards. You know what I mean?
I don't like the fluff in between the host doing cheesy, corny jokes.
Yeah.
That's why Ricky Gervais is the best.
Yeah, but one of your favorite artists dropped their new album, their 7th album. It's hard to believe Ariana Grande has the 7th album.
Yeah,
and she dropped it overnight.
And she, much like Taylor Swift, your girl, they're grinders because they don't have to do this. When you look at, I think Ariana Grande, and Lunsford might be able to correct me here, I think she's got the biggest Instagram following in the world, maybe?
Maybe. Instagram following is Ariana Grande the biggest right now? I mean, Taylor Swift's got to be up there.
I would have assumed it was Taylor Swift.
I saw something that she has like, Taylor Swift has 282 million followers on Twitter or something like that.
Well, so
That's
give me a big country. So we're 300 plus million, Rocky.
Yeah,
in our country.
India.
Yeah.
Which one are you looking at?
I'm going to look at Ariana.
Instagram.
Yep.
Okay, I'll do Taylor Swift real quick.
Okay, which one do you think's got more?
I would imagine
Cristiano Ronaldo is probably actually number 1, if I had to guess.
Taylor Swift has 282 million.
That's ridiculous.
On Instagram.
Ariana Grande.
Yep.
380 million.
That's just insane.
She's only 7th.
And I don't think she's naked in any of these pictures.
No,
300. You've got more
Instagram.
people following her than the entire population of the United States.
Yeah. She's 7th?
She's 7th. So the actual Instagram account is 1, if that counts, 670. Ronaldo is 2nd with 623 million. Messi is 3rd at 500 million. Selena Gomez, 429 million. Kylie Jenner.
Whoa. Selena Gomez has 400 and what?
429 million.
Wow.
Kylie Jenner has 400 million. The Rock has 397 million. Then Ariana Grande.
Oh my gosh! So let me ask
just look. If The Rock ever decided to run for president, he just has to sit there on his Instagram account.
Oh, I think The Rock could probably win. I don't know why in the hell he would want to do that with the money he's printing right now. But what is so you've got these influencers out there that have 5,000 followers and they're apparently getting something out of posting. What would you get if you have over 300 million?
Oh, I mean, there's the top rankings right there.
I want to say, remember when Fyre Fest happened and like it was a whole sham and everything, but a bunch of influencers posted like those orange squares to like show what it was going to be. I want to say in the documentaries about it, Kim Kardashian was one that posted it. She had less followers then, but she has 364 million now. She's 8th, right behind Ariana. And I want to say it was $250,000 for one orange square.
But if you see that, the Jenner, Kardashian in the top 10, they're the only ones that are media personalities. Basically, just they've made their weight on social media. Everyone else has done something else.
The Kardashians, Kylie Jenner included. I've never watched it. I've probably seen 30 minutes of it, but I give them a lot of credit, man. They have completely built their brands.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. When we come back, we will discuss a little bit of the final home games coming up this weekend for Alabama and Auburn. We touched on it with Ferman. You'll hear from Bruce Pearl coming up, and also in our final hour of the show, not just trash. We'll talk a little bit college football. Brian Kelly talking about the transition down at LSU. If you missed yesterday, Matt Moscona, he was with us. You can get that podcasted. Coming up on Monday's show, scheduled to be with us Monday, T-Bob Hebert and Danny Cannell joins the show for the first time ever. Danny Cannell on the show. Scheduled to be with us Monday. Should be a buckle up Monday.
Yeah, Danny's one of those, I think, controversial guys, polarizing because he likes to take shots at the SEC. But I had the opportunity to meet him after an SEC championship game and hang out for just a little bit. He's a really cool guy. I think some guys say things just to get under people's skins, and I can't even imagine like his social media interaction.
Yeah.
I'm sure he goes back and forth with SEC fans all of the time.
I love me some Danny Cannell. We'll talk to him coming up on Monday. You got a chance to see the Birmingham Squadron in action tonight. BirminghamSquadron.com, BirminghamSquadron.com. Always remember, you can get tickets at the door, too, at Legacy Arena. A nice walk-up crowd, or you can call them up, 205-719-0850. Tonight's game, 7 o'clock. It is Healthcare Appreciation Night against the Greensboro Swarm. Presenting partner there is Pro Assurance. You get a free T-shirt if you're one of the first 1,000 fans there tonight, and it's a tribute to all the healthcare workers who have done so much over the last few years here in our area. It's a great cause tonight. Healthcare Worker Night with the Birmingham Squadron. The halftime show is the Amazing Grace Good is there tonight. And don't forget, Sunday's Youth Sports Day, 3 o'clock at Legacy with the Long Island Nets in town. You'll get a Commander growth chart to the first 1,000 fans so you can track the little ones as they grow up to be big basketball players in the G League. Get your tickets right now, BirminghamSquadron.com, or buy them at the door, 7 o'clock tonight, 3 o'clock on Sunday, to go watch the Squadron.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter at RockstarBHM.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention The Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Let me introduce you to the new line of Red Wing athletic work shoes. This great new line is perfect for the industrial athlete, the guy who is working on concrete or running through the warehouse all day long. Red Wing Athletics use the same technology found in a running shoe, with soft mesh uppers, a lightweight aluminum toe for protection, and non-slip soles. This shoe is a winner. This comfortable new line of safety shoes are perfect for warehousing and light manufacturing. Plus, the colors look great. Stop by your local Red Wing shoe store, have your feet measured, and test drive a new pair of Red Wing athletic work shoes. Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Did you know that colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in America and that it affects men and women equally? If you're older than 45, Rump Shaker encourages you to talk to your doctor about screening options that are available. Colon cancer is preventable, treatable, and beatable, but early detection is the key. For more information, please visit us. Go to rumpshakerinc.org. Also, 6th annual Rump Shaker 5K coming up Saturday, March 23rd at Regents Field. You can register online, rumpshakerinc.org.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Watch our Gimme Cut number 3. We talked about this week when it happened, but I want you to hear it. Chip Kelly, who went from UCLA to Ohio State, was introduced his first opportunity to talk as the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. LT listened to this and had a thought. I want you guys to listen, and then LT will sort of get back into what he thinks of Chip Kelly in this position now.
I think it started when we were preparing for our bowl game. Ryan Gunderson, who's a great quarterback coach, left to go to Oregon State as the coordinator, so he wasn't there. So I actually coached the quarterbacks during the bowl game, and I just started to think, like, I hadn't actually coached a position since 2008. And then I think my wife remarked, she's like, I haven't seen you this happy in a long time. And to me, the best part of football is football. And so you got to do football and not do some of the things that involve with the head coaching deal. And I had a chance after we beat Boise in the bowl game, and as we started recruiting, just to kind of think about what that experience was like. And then I get to make the decision on what my future is going to be. And so what do I want to do? There's a story about John Lennon when he was a little kid that had an assignment of what do you want to be when you grow up? And he said, I want to be happy. And then his teacher said, I don't think you understand the assignment. And his mom said, I don't think you understand life. So I just want to be happy.
Well, now, you had a thought about that.
Well, I love that comment.
When you hear that, it sounds really cool.
Yeah, I look, and there's a chance that Chip Kelly would have had a terrible year at UCLA in their first year in the Big Ten, and maybe he gets fired. But you can't really put – that guy's got enough money in the bank, he's going to be completely fine, right?
Right.
So you can't put a price tag on happiness. If he doesn't enjoy going to work every day and working with the people he works with, that's a problem. And so now he has minimized what he has to do. He's still going to have to recruit, no doubt, but he doesn't have to be in charge of the entire program. That's all on Ryan Day. He gets to break down and work with all of these incredible weapons that he used to have at Oregon, but he never had at UCLA.
And whatever he's making, 1.2, 1.8, whatever his salary is to be OC, you can live off that and keep all that other money in your savings account and checking account and keep working to retirement.
Yeah, you've got the UCLA colored next round hat on. I have heard from a lot of different people, and you've probably heard the same thing, that there is not a commitment to that athletic program at all.
Well, they're struggling with money, period.
But, if you've got people that you have to answer to squeezing you all of the time, and they're on your ass all the time, he gave them 2 option 3s and rolled out the door. And I think it is a massive hire. Like, I don't think it's a big loss for UCLA. I don't know how well they were going to do in the Big Ten. Again, I think Chip Kelly did a pretty good job what he had there, getting better each and every year. But I think he's going to be a great coordinator in the Big Ten.
Yeah. People would have gone crazy if Nick Saban had done this. But I think Nick Saban would enjoy, at this point, just coaching a position.
Just imagine if he was a defensive backs coach or a defensive coordinator even. I do think, look, just being around the game, it would be impossible, though. Like Chip Kelly, Ryan Day's still going to be the face of this program, whether you like Ryan Day or not. But if Nick Saban went there, you couldn't be in the same room because all of the assistants would be.
That's right. That's right.
What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
That's why it'll be interesting watching the season as it progresses with Nick Saban, because meeting with Kane Womack now and talking about defense and personnel, you all think, oh, that's pretty cool that they're doing that as part of the transition. When you get to the season, seeing how many times he rolls out to practice, and if you're a DB and you're running a drill in practice and you do something wrong, do you look at Kane Womack or do you look over see what Nick Saban says?
1,000% Saban. And I do want to ask you about Chip Kelly, though, and Ryan Day. And obviously, Ryan Day recently hasn't had success against Michigan. Scott, I don't know if you've got it, and I don't want to put you on the spot. If you don't, it's not a big deal. I can pull it Ohio State's schedule. But I know they go to Oregon in September. And the storyline there is going to be Oregon, what they did to Ryan Day in the regular season. I think the only non-Big Ten team to beat Ryan Day in the regular season, but also Chip Kelly coming back to Eugene. That's a massive game where I still think Ohio State might be slightly favored. I think they're going to be favored in all 12 games, but when I remember with Michigan coming to Columbus, I think they've got a pretty manageable schedule.
Ohio State does. You think Oregon is not going to be the favorite at home when Ohio State comes?
I think it's going to be right around a pick.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Oregon 2.5. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ohio State 1. It will be right there in that number. It will not be more than 3 either way.
Yeah. Nicholas, I agree with you. I thought Chip saw the writing on the wall and he was getting out before he got fired. I think they wanted to fire him last year until USC lost. He beat USC.
Well, let me ask you this.
But maybe it is a happiness thing. But I felt like he was getting out ahead of the posse.
What's his buyout? If you just you leave, you don't get that buyout. So
I don't know if they re-signed him. I thought he was winding down towards the end of his contract. That Ohio State schedule, manageable by, especially by terms of like if you look at Florida's schedule or Oklahoma's schedule. Ohio State's schedule does look a little bit more simple. Tell us about New York Butcher Shop. A great place to go and crank the weekend. There's Ohio State's schedule. Southern Miss, Western Michigan, Marshall, and then we're into Big Ten play. Michigan State, Iowa, Oregon on the road, Nebraska, Penn State on the road, Purdue, Northwestern, Indiana, and the team up north, which is Michigan, a home game.
So really only 3 challenging games on that schedule.
At Oregon.
Yeah, at Oregon, Dan Lanning can't win a big game. Ryan Day has won big game. Say what you want, that he hasn't won a championship. I get that, but I think they win that game.
At Penn State.
It's James Franklin, even worse.
And then home to Michigan.
And Michigan has lost so... Yeah. I mean, if you lose that Michigan game, I don't care if you're 11-1 and getting a college football playoff. I guess you could lose Michigan and then go on and win a national championship.
Yep.
That is a game he cannot lose.
Toughest game in his schedule is week 6 at Oregon.
I would agree.
And there's a good chance that they'll flip around and play that one again with no divisions in Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship game.
So I had an opportunity to stop in and see our friend Jim at the Greystone location yesterday. Got 2 of the 8-ounce prime fillets. Let him dust those things up. Did them on the iron skillet and in the oven again. Broiled those. Also had a side of the goat cheese mashed potatoes. So good. Nice bottle of Cab. They've got a great selection of fine wines and desserts. Stop in and see our friends at the New York Butcher Shop. From the Angus Prime beef steaks, premium pork chops, ribs, all natural chicken cut to order just for you. 2 locations, Cava Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
All right, Andy Burcham and Brad Law, left and right of Bruce Pearl on Tiger Talk last night from the Auburn Network. Andy talks to Bruce about the mentality of this team with the final regular season game happening tomorrow down at Neville, and then it's off to Nashville, and then the NCAA tournament for Bruce's Tigers.
What does it mean as we get, we're, one more game left in the regular season, then it's March, baby. It's time for the tournaments.
Well, one of the things I try to do is let the guys know, look, the work's over. This is all gravy. This is all reward. We're not working anymore. We're playing. And so we've been in position to be in position. Let's have some fun. We're prepared. And let's take advantage of the position that we put ourselves in. This isn't work. This is the reward. This is the fun stuff. And to the victor go the spoils, when the spoils are very significant, obviously at this time of the year. This has been a team that I think everybody's enjoyed. It was a team that was picked 6th or 7th in the league, and it's got a chance to finish anywhere between 2nd and 6th. But regardless, if we can win Saturday, that'll be 13 SEC wins. There's only been like 3 or 4 other teams in the history of Auburn basketball that have won 13 SEC games. So, pretty good group.
Pretty good group there. And do you agree with me that that team knows who they are, and whatever happens, happens. Alabama still at this point maybe trying to recalibrate their identity as they get ready for Arkansas and then the trip to Nashville.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think Auburn is really confident going into postseason. I do think that they've got an identity. And look, Alabama's got an identity. They just know that they're really not good defensively. And as long as they're hitting their threes, they can beat anybody in the country. But the problem is you've got not 1, 2, 3 guys struggling. You've got a collection of guys right now struggling for Nate Oates.
Yeah.
So you just wonder, and, you got to have confidence when you're firing off, 10 threes in a game, and especially if you start clanking some of these early. I just don't know how confident this Alabama team is.
2-6 on the line for seeding as we get ready to. We'll know tomorrow night who and when everyone's playing up in Nashville. Our coverage all next week from Nashville, the SEC tournament, on our social media platform at Next Round Live at Next Round Live. When we come back, a little bit more college football and trash still to come. The show being brought to you by the Rump Shaker event. Is that this weekend? Is that tomorrow?
It is not done away. It is actually the 23rd. It's going to be at Regents Park, March 23rd. RumpShakerInc.org for more information. Did you realize that colon cancer, the second leading cause of cancer deaths in America, it affects men and women equally? If you're 45 or older, you need to go get screened out.
You know how I know that? Because of the Rump Shaker over the years. It brings such awareness to the cause.
Yeah, I've run it a couple of times, and I don't think I'm going to be in town on the 23rd, but if I am, I'm going to partake in this great event. Colon cancer, it's preventable, it's treatable, it's beatable. Early detection is the key. For more information, RumpShakerInc.org.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Ready to swap from your current auto or RV loan provider and drop your interest rate? Now is your chance. With Legacy Credit Union's annual swap and drop promotion, you can swap your current loan and save with Legacy in minutes. Whether you're a member or a potential member, Legacy Credit Union is here to help you drive into savings. Go online to swapanddrop.com or visit one of their 9 locations to take advantage of this incredible offer. Limited time offer, terms and conditions may apply. See Credit Union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call GutterCapBirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1, find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2, stream it now. Miss Hour 3, download it for later. Miss Hour 4, well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. The next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, final hour of the show brought to you always by our friends at Champy's. Champy's world famous fried chicken, champyschicken.com. About to empty the sheet here of some things I haven't gotten to before we get to football, but they'll empty the cooler for you down at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster, Sterling. Brines that chicken overnight, right? Never frozen, brines it overnight, cooks it to order, so it's not just sitting there under a heat lamp. You come in, and like me, you say, man, I want 2 big breasts and some sides, and he cooks it up to order. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales and all the great sides. It's good date night, too, tonight. If you want to swing by there, Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Troy says, landmine logic, UConn and Houston going to get bounced in the first round, and Bama winning the whole thing just because they lost to good teams. I don't believe that at all, by the way. I think UConn's good enough to win it again. I'm worried about Houston's injuries going into the NCAA tournament, but I think they're good enough to be a Final Four team. UConn would be the first back-to-back champion since Florida.
So tough to do. And you look at this Houston and Kansas game tomorrow. Kansas played by far their best basketball game of the year earlier this year in Lawrence, where they were up 15 on Houston at halftime. They destroyed the Cougars. But since then, Houston hasn't lost. They're the number 1 team in America right now. It's going to be a hell of a game tomorrow.
I mean, I was going to run through the top of the Ken Palm teams I think could win the national championship, and I only circled 3.
Yeah,
I don't want to go O's the Mentalist on you, but I only circled 3.
So you went UConn.
Yep.
You went Tennessee.
Yep.
And you went.
I went Houston.
Houston, yeah.
Yep.
So you still like if Matt Painter had 2 Final Four appearances, no national championships, would you feel different about Purdue?
It's the big guy,
Zach Edey,
that I think sometimes you run into a game that's officiated differently, and it hurts you to have a big guy. Like, it never hurts you to have great guards. Sometimes you run across an official crew that hurts you having a big guy clogging up the middle, and they don't call the game correctly. Either there's too many fouls, or they don't call any fouls at all, and they're hacking your big guy to death. It can go both ways. So I shy away from the big guy.
I could see Purdue, if Edey does get in foul trouble, where everyone panics. And if you've got a tight game, which Purdue's going to play some tight games. Now, I'll give them credit in the regular season, winning that outright Big Ten back-to-back years. Just the other night against Illinois, they were down at half, and they played an incredible second half, 20 minutes. But you wonder if they get in a situation where it's one and done, if they get really tight, and you've got Edey on the bench for an 8 to 10 minute stretch because he's in foul trouble.
Yeah, I just don't know of anyone else that I would say that team I think can do it. I feel like Forrester does. Forrester, if you had to, we're going to do our bracket challenge, which is open at nextroundlive.com. Forrester, microphone's on. Tell me, is there one place you are going right now, Forrester, that automatically would be your team to win the national championship?
Yeah, I just haven't seen a team better than UConn this year. I think there's a drop off after UConn.
Yep.
And I don't know so definitely Matt Painter is a good coach, but he's not what Dan Hurley or Kelvin Sampson is. Kelvin Sampson is an unbelievable coach. You look at all his stops, and back when the NCAA used to really get involved, they kind of blacklisted him for a little bit. But everywhere he has been, from Washington State to where he is now, this guy wins.
I want to talk a little bit of college football here. In this segment, and then we will get later on to trash. Our college football segment today brought to you by our friends at Johnson RV Center, johnsonrvcenter.com. There are 2 great locations in Coleman and Decatur. When was it? It wasn't last Saturday. It was the Saturday before that, right? It had a couple of Saturdays. And it was really a wonderful opportunity to hang out with Nick and his father and the whole gang from johnsonrvcenter.com. It's a great opportunity right now for you to go and not only celebrate 10 years with them, 10 years of being a great family-owned business, but also to still take advantage of the RV show pricing. You can keep doing that today and tomorrow, but that is running out. So go take advantage of that right now at johnsonrvcenter.com. You can go online to do it. You can go by in person, Coleman and Decatur. Either way you'd make the contact, do that today so you can take advantage of the RV Show pricing. They have competitive financing that's going to help you there. Military discount if you're a military family, they can do that as well. And lifetime warranty on almost everything they sell there at JohnsonRVCenter.com. JohnsonRVCenter.com. Go check them out. Those two great locations, Coleman and Decatur. And a few more hours of that RV Show pricing with our friends at Johnston RV. Rockstar, let's go first with cut number 2. Peyton Thorne's the Auburn quarterback here. Auburn's been a little spring break this week. All the students have been off. They're about to crank it back up again next week. Before they went to spring break, they started practice a year or two of Hugh Freeze. This Peyton Thorne, the quarterback, QB1 down at Auburn. He gets asked what his spring goal is for these 15 practices.
What's your goal for these 14, 15 practices going through spring practice, either for you or for the team as a whole?
Yeah, for me, it's just be as crisp as I can be, take care of the ball, get the ball in the end zone, high completion percentage, and then just feeling at practice 15, feeling like I am in complete control of what we're doing on offense. I've felt like that in the past with other offenses, and so that's my goal for myself, and then for us as a team, it's just build confidence, and that comes from good practice, and I think that we're going to have a great chance to do that. We're very detailed right now, and that's another thing Coach Nix has brought, very detail-oriented. And so just nail out those details and feel extremely confident going into the summer, and then obviously have a great summer before the fall.
If I take the 16 quarterbacks in the SEC, starting quarterbacks, whoever they end up being in week 1, and I say Peyton Thorne, and I know this number is going to end up being only 15, because I'm going to divide them into 5s. If I say Peyton Thorne ends up
bottom 5
in his performance, top 5, middle 5, bottom 5.
Well, I shouldn't say so.
Now, get away from the numbers, not just a numbers game, but in his performance and ability to lead his team, helping the team, not helping the team.
I thought maybe his best game was against Georgia. Without Brock Bowers, Georgia, there's a chance they lose to Auburn and Peyton Thorne.
And had the injury in the secondary that opened up Brock Bowers.
I do think Peyton Thorne should be better year 2 under Hugh Freeze. I think Hugh Freeze is that good of an offensive mind.
Better receivers.
Yeah. Definitely not going to be in the top 5. Bottom 5, you can go on and say Vanderbilt is going to be there. But outside of that, I don't feel great saying there's a quarterback that's going to be – I think it's going to be bottom 5.
Technically bottom 6 if you're doing all 16 teams. There are some unknowns out there. Hugh Freeze continuing to be very confident with him. If he's QB1, you assume, though, even if he's not QB1, the other guy's on the roster, because you're not going to bring a guy in after spring that's going to win that job, right?
Okay. Would you be completely – yeah, you're not. I was going to say, would you be completely floored? Portal opening back up after spring ball would be so difficult to bring a guy in, get him familiar with that system, and have him ready to roll just through fall camp.
Well, you're going to have at least one, if not a couple of 4 or 5-star guys leave the Bama quarterback room. I fully believe that.
Oh yeah, I
totally
agree.
Be shocked.
I mean, if nobody,
Lonergan, there's a ton of guys that are got talent in that quarterback room.
Yeah, one of the more shocking things in college football, if at least one of those guys, you put the number at 1.5, I think that's a good number.
I would take the over.
It's going to be 1 or 2.
Yeah, I would take the over on that. But so far they're all there. They're all practicing in Tuscaloosa.
Let me ask you this. So, obviously Jalen Milroe is at least now going to be start court. He's not going anywhere. I wouldn't think Austin Mack making the move from Washington with this staff would go anywhere.
No, he'll be
So then it comes down to Lonergan and Simpson. Those are the two you feel like are going to take off.
Yeah. Yeah. One of them at least, right?
No, I agree.
Or maybe they hang around. I don't know. And that's what I was going to ask, Zach. Could one of those guys leave and be at Auburn?
I mean, they could. I mean, if you're getting an incredible NIL deal, and Hugh Freeze says, "Look, Payne's going to have an opportunity to compete for this job. He was our guy last year, but we feel like you give us the best opportunity to win, but you got to come in here and earn it. If you're one of those guys and you're getting paid to do it, why would you not?"
Let's talk a little defense now. We'll go across the state to Tuscaloosa. Our buddy Kane Womack. Everyone will be watching this Alabama defense. Pete Golding was a really good defensive coordinator, and I thought his defensive numbers were actually pretty good, relatively speaking, compared to others in the country. And imagine the scrutiny he was under. I think Alabama fans scrutinize defense more than they do offense. Kane Womack is gonna be under a microscope in this position. Here he is talking about Rockstar cut number 1, if you will. Here's Kane Womack talking about how he likes to set the tone for his defense, what he likes to do to help his defense sort of get into a flow.
Well, I think, the responsibility as a defensive coordinator is to set the tone of what you're looking for. I write on my notes every single day before we go out on my paper. You set the standard, right? You are the standard for how you want things done. I think, leaders lead from the front, right? And they serve everyone else around them, but they also set the example and the tone of what things need to be. If I ask our players to bring energy every single day, right, I need to bring energy every single day. And so I think ultimately my job is to set the standard, cast vision, and then hold everybody accountable to the relentless detail that it takes to accomplish that vision.
Yeah, that's Kane Womack there. Like the guy a lot. And they've got some talent on that defensive side if they can get the secondary right with that those young guys. But I don't know if you're watching how Sabb is being portrayed by Kalen DeBoer and others. I know he's stepping into big shoes to fill.
The guy can play. I mean, he started a national championship game. He's got experience. The transfer from Michigan. He's not going to be Caleb Downs, but I mean, who is? Caleb Downs, arguably the best player on that roster last year for Alabama. He's now at Ohio State. But this Kane Womack defense, his swarm defense, there was only 2 teams that gave up less points in the Sun Belt last year, and that was James Madison and Troy. Both teams that won their respective divisions.
Yeah, so interesting there for Bama, like Auburn this week. For Bama next week, it's a trip now for spring break for them, and then they will get back and work their way towards A-Days, which are coming up first Saturday in April for Auburn, second Saturday in April for the Crimson Tide of Alabama. All right, we'll empty the sheet here and talk about some things going on. First off, did you ever buy anything from Abercrombie and Fitch back in the day? Rockstar, you first.
I think I had a pair of shorts and a cargo shorts, and I never wore them. I remember it smelled heavily of cologne, and I was not a fan of Abercrombie.
In fact, our very first thing we ever did on this platform was we taped and did a live audio show, right? Or was it a video show too? I think it was just an audio show, but then we taped it and sent stuff out from our social media over at SEC Media Days before we'd even started this show. And our furniture for the set at the Galleria was from the old Abercrombie and Fitch that used to be there, and it still smelled like the late 90s.
like Body Axe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Axe body spray. I mean, whatever their cologne was, like that place was heavily scented.
Now, is there any truth to the rumor that you actually auditioned to be one of the wallpaper models?
I did, and they said I was too old. Yeah. They like to use only teenagers, I believe, back in the day.
See, that's why they made that
The only time I ever shopped there, and I didn't know what it was, this was like in the early 90s, and I was in Chicago, and randomly ended up at some mall with some friends, and there was an Abercrombie and Fitch, and so went in there and forgot what I got. I think it was like some kind of light coat.
Oh, I bought everything from there back in the day because there was one girl that I dated at the time who pre-Maggie, wasn't Tony. It was after Tony, before Maggie.
I don't know anybody you've dated more different people than anybody I know.
She worked at, I want to say, where did Spisto work?
Riches. No, Parisians.
So she worked at Parisian. And to this day, I think Spisto hooked up with my girlfriend back when I was dating her, but
I can get a confirmation on that quickly.
But I will never. He never will admit it to me.
Why would it? Statute of limitations over, right?
Because it was before he was married, before I was married. But
So why do you think that though?
I don't know.
Saw making out
what's the old? What was that? I just got that feeling.
Yeah.
I just got that feeling.
Yeah, that was Office Space.
She did cheat on me, and that's how we broke up the first time. But I was cheating on her too. But.
Okay, well,
but I didn't get caught.
How did she get caught? Because this is back pre cell phone, right?
It was. I asked her, and she told me that it was somebody she worked with.
You know what that means? She wanted out of the relationship.
Oh yeah, I mean it worked. It worked.
I've been flaunting this in front of you for weeks.
Yeah, but I swear I still think it was before I even knew who Spisto is. But when we started sharing stories, I swear I thought it was Spisto back in the day.
So that was not almost a parking lot fight between you two?
Oh no.
I am going to text him a break, and I'm going to find out.
Back then, it was more fish in the
sea.
sea.
What was her name?
I'm not going to say. I'll tell you the name, but I'm not going to say it on the air.
It's not like you don't throw them out there.
But she, even though she was at Rich's, she liked the way the Abercrombie & Fitch looked. So I would buy everything from there back in the day.
Parisian and Rich's were really good department stores back in the day.
I bring this up because would you believe this past year, 16% growth in sales by Abercrombie & Fitch.
I don't believe it. I don't even know where you would find one.
What's crazy is Netflix did a documentary on them on how discriminatory they were. And because they weren't using African American model, like it was this whole like killing of the brand, and now it's up
16%. They don't sell men's clothes anymore. They sell just to women in their 20s.
That's a specific demographic, and your sales are up. But how do they market to those women? And is more of this online? I mean, are there any brick and mortars out there?
The one in the Galleria is done. I don't know who it is.
Well, like that's not even. I think it's an Abercrombie. There's not Abercrombie & Fitch anymore. I think it's just Abercrombie.
Just called Abercrombie.
Yeah.
So I'm showing my age at that point.
Yeah. That's why they got in a fight. Yeah. Abercrombie's like, look, we just need to market 20-year-old women, and Fitch is like, no, dude, we need the teenage boys.
There's Emily Grace. I frequently buy Abercrombie.
That is way below her line. I see some of the stuff that Emily Grace sports. She's walking in the Alabama facilities with Jimmy Choo shoes on. They cost more than our entire get-ups.
Yeah, I had my Jimmy.
I find it hard to believe she's buying Abercrombie.
I had my Jimmy shoes on.
Yeah, I still only shop at Forever 21. That's my place.
I thought you were a Buckle guy.
Buckle was the most harassed I've ever been by a person.
Tyler's back there going,
I went to try on some jeans. I'll be quick.
Were they sequence jeans?
Well, I'm in no rush.
No, sequin. No, I found some jeans. This guy was like, "Hey man, can I get you anything you want?" I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm just looking for a pair of jeans." Hey, well, you look like you're this size, and that. So I went.
Run and get me an Aunt Annie's pretzel.
Yeah. And I went to the dressing room. I tried the jeans. They didn't fit. And then dude starts throwing jeans. They're like, "Hey man, try these. I'm looking with your body size. Try these." And I was like, I just left. I was like, I can't do this. He won't leave me alone for a second. And I left. That was the last time I was in a Buckle.
Do you think he was really trying to help, or do you think he liked you?
It's a good kiss. No, he wasn't trying to do anything like that.
It was weird when he went to the dressing room with me.
You got to try them on like this. Left leg first.
What was the jean place that used to be in the Summit here? They had them everywhere. Was it Buckle? Or was it was I bought one pair.
I've never had a pair of them. I know what you're talking about.
I had one pair of them. I didn't like it.
Lucky
jeans.
Yeah. Lucky jeans. I had one pair of those that ended up not being so lucky for me.
What does that even mean?
They work for Spisto.
Just share on a Friday, Dunaway.
No. I don't think they were button ups, but I had a little problem with them one time. All right, and also daylight savings time this week, and no S on the end. It's not daylight saving times. It's daylight saving time. So we're Sunday at 2 a.m. So we're forward.
We spring forward.
19 states have legislation to try to make it daylight saving time.
Let's get it done.
Year round. Alabama is one of them trying to get it done. They have to pass it, and then eventually the federal government has to say it's okay for them to be that way.
Yeah, I think there's something positive about every season, but the way our weather has been the last few days, you get that with us springing forward, and you get that 5:30 where the sun's still out. It's not overly hot. It's like perfect weather.
I think Tennessee is the only place that has two different pieces of legislation going on. Tennessee is one of the 19 states that's trying to make it forever daylight saving time. And then Tennessee also has a different piece of legislation that wants to make it standard time year round, which is the one we're on right now, which would be horrible, I think.
Oh, yeah.
To be standard time year round.
I mean, I just don't know why we wouldn't. It's so amazing that we are the United States of America and we do so many things differently.
Yeah, I don't want to change the clock anymore.
Yeah. I think the less government is involved is probably better, but I think there are some things that we can make a decision that should be uniform for the 50 states, and I think that is one of them.
Let's give people when they get off work or out of school the most possible sunshine after work and after school
us.
Every day.
Yeah,
every
for
day.
golf, for you, right?
For golf, year-round golf. All right, when we come back, we'll jump in the trash. Big wins last night for Auburn women. They're about to play this afternoon. Currently, South Carolina leads Texas A&M 14-13 at the Women's SEC Tournament in Greenville. Auburn plays tonight against LSU. Bama goes in the second game today after having the double bye. They get Tennessee today in a classic matchup. All those games on the SEC Network. And if you want to see Robbie Avila, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Steph Blurry, whatever one you want to go to. 12 o'clock ESPN Plus. They start their tournament today. Mo State and Indiana State, as tournament basketball is full full-fledged, rolling on right now across the country. This is TNR.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Tournament time is almost here, but any time is a great time to jump on with MyBookie.ag. When you sign up at MyBookie.ag, use code NEXTROUND for a special sign-on bonus. You can use that bonus right away. Win once with it, it is yours and yours forever. Not like some of the sites that make you win 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times before you keep the bonus. You win once at MyBookie.ag, it is yours forever. Basketball tournaments, NBA, the start of Major League Baseball, NASCAR, and golf. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
Visit nextroundlive.com today. It's free, unless you haven't paid your internet bill. So go ahead and pay that, and then it's free. Heck, you can pull out your phone and go to nextroundlive.com right now, where you'll find all the free content that you can stomach. Unless you haven't paid your phone bill, then you need to pay that, and then you can enjoy all the free content. Nextroundlive.com is so rewarding that it should be behind a paywall, like Lance's Lock. So in summary, play Lance's Lock. Then you'll have enough money to pay your bills, and go to nextroundlive.com, where you're always at your happiest, for free.
We were just having the discussion. I'd go back. I mean, if you could say, Jim, what age would you be for your whole life if you go back and live that age forever and ever and ever? Amen. Thank you, Randy Travis. I would go back to 28. And 28 was my favorite age.
That is there a reason why? Like 28 is way too young. You got no life experience. It's before you're ever making money, really.
Well, 32 was a great year for me because I got married and Maggie. But 28 was the age for me.
Man, 28 is just so young. I've always said 35. Jack asked me this a couple of years ago. Told him 35 for a guy is the perfect age. You've got so many options. And the reason we got into this, I don't even know how, but I was telling EG, I ran into a friend at a brewery this past Saturday, and he was a little distraught because his girlfriend had broken up with him. He's like, man, I'm 35. What am I going to do with my life? Like, I don't have any options. I'm like, dude, you're 35. You have got every option out there.
That's right. That's right. 35. Keith says 35 to 40 easy.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I mean, like, 40 was... Like, if I went... I think my 40s were my favorite years. I think the 30s were second, and then the 20s. I've liked them all, but I'm just, getting old sucks.
I love every year, truthfully.
Well, you're 23.
I know. I'm 23. I love 22. That was a fun one.
I was talking to a dude yesterday that's in hospice, and he said he walked in and this dude's arm, it was just bleeding all over because he was so old, his skin just peeled off because it's like paper. So these things we get to look forward to if we make it that long.
Oh, trust me. Just in the last, just since December, my first ever back issue, which has brought some hip pain, some left leg pain. I twisted my right knee. I've got some ankle pain, and I'm coming off of the COVID. So my golf game, my last 3 rounds have been 94, 93, and 103.
I love how you blame it on the COVID.
I got to blame it.
COVID got to do with that swing.
Hey, when you 4-putt, you blame it on whatever you can blame it on. I 4-putted twice yesterday. Twice.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm a 3-putt master. I haven't played. Last time I played was with you, Brown, and Walls at Heatherwood, which is now defunct, right?
It's now closed.
And how long ago was
out
that?
Of its misery.
Wait, Walls was our GM at
radio,
at Jocks.
I would say it was pre-pandemic. I'd say it was when he was leaving that job. It was 18 or 19.
Yeah, so that's the last time I played golf.
Wow.
Yeah. We're about to get to trash. Show being brought to you in part by our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa. Have you been there yet?
I have not. Wait, to Woodhouse?
Yeah. Woodhouse Day Spa?
Yes, I've got my eyebrows done, but I haven't done a experience.
Yeah, you need to do the full day because you go in, they throw the robe on you, get a mimosa. I mean, there's so many different services.
My girls have. I know Little T's been up there. You need to swing by there one time.
You give me a ding when you like these services. Massages?
Yes.
Body treatments?
Yes.
Skincare?
Yes.
Waxing?
Yes.
Nail services?
Yes.
They got them all.
Yeah.
Woodhouse Day Spa voted America's best day spa since 2009. And what you would love is it is a luxurious place. It's like a palace, incredible staff. Know a lot of those people that work up there. Go see Stuart and that great staff. Tell them the next round sent you. You can also buy gift cards online. It's your birthday if your parents, grandparents are listening. You live right down the road from it. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. That's Birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
Do me. Same ones.
Dunaway, massages.
Yes, deep tissue.
Body treatments.
Yes.
Skincare.
Yes.
Waxing.
Yes. Kidding.
Do you still do the Brazilian?
LT.
Just in one spot.
You're not supposed to tell everybody.
Does it start with a, can I be Oz here?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a T.
Yes, and yes. Let's do it. It's trash time. Hit the big button.
The moon is bigger than Earth. Surely it has to be, because when you're looking at the moon from Earth, it's huge, but it's so far away from us.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Did the new year add to your financial uncertainty? Let the experts at Mortgage Right help get your financial house in order. The team of experts can make sure you're prepared for anything 2024 may bring, including freeing up cash for the things you need to get done. Take control today. Visit Mortgage Right. Their location, Highway 280. You can apply online, mortgageright.com/TNR. Call 205-815-9200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. So I've got 3 shots today at the camera. You think I'll hit one of the 3?
Yeah, I'll go with one.
Okay.
Is that an Abercrombie top?
No, this is RJ Pope in Statesboro, one of my favorite boutiques.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Were you one of their influencers?
You could say that.
Did you work a deal with them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you could be in sales. You're a good negotiator.
Thank you.
By you saying that on our platform right here, will RJ Pope send you something else when you send him a clip of this?
No, I should shout out Leah. If you're over in Statesboro, go to RJ Pope.
Yeah, we used to have something called payola. We had some people that we worked with way back in the day that were really good at it. It was the FCC implemented this, and I forgot, I think it was in the 60s or 70s. Dick Clark was the guy that really took advantage of it. He would give all these plugs and the benefits he was getting in. So it's illegal to do that on radio, but we're not regulated by the FCC. So if you want to throw out whatever you want.
For instance, Roback.com, promo code
Perfect.
TNR20. I dropped that to a cart guy yesterday when I was leaving. He had a Roback on. I said, do you buy those yourself? And he's like, my parents bought it for me. And I said, promo code TNR20. If you like that shirt, buy a couple.
I see more and more Roback hoodies. They are really, really growing. You know, this past weekend, you see where I hit it dead on yesterday, and then I put one right to the side.
Yeah, that would be an alternating arrow.
The most next round hats I've ever seen were last weekend at the chili cook-off. And do you know how many people rolled through the doors? I found this out yesterday.
How many?
120,000 people.
Oh my goodness!
The chili cook-off. Way to go.
That's awesome.
I mean, yeah. So it's for a great cause, the Exceptional Foundation. But anyway, I guess that's why I saw so many next round hats. We start first. Texas mother has been arrested after a drink she made for her son's bully sent him to the hospital.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. That was premeditated.
Yeah, Jennifer Rossi, 45, reportedly mixed lemon juice, vinegar, salt, and Gatorade together in a sports bottle on Tuesday. Told her son to give it to a classmate who had stolen his drink the day before. Approximately, this is outside of San Antonio. Quote, upon arriving to school, deputies learned the sick child was given a drink by the classmate. Shortly after the child consumed the drink, he reportedly began experiencing nausea and a headache and was taken to the hospital. Although the contents of the drink were non-toxic, the incident resulted in the child being hospitalized.
It's hard to imagine you would not taste the vinegar.
Yeah.
Through the course of this investigation, it was learned the mother of the student who provided the drink intentionally mixed the contents of the drink to allegedly prevent her son's drink from being stolen at school by another student. Rossi was arrested and booked into jail, where she was charged with injury to a child causing bodily harm. Okay, let's go back through it. Lemon juice, not that big of a deal. Vinegar, salt, Gatorade. I guarantee he's not going to take somebody's drink again.
Right.
Yeah. It's the vinegar that causes the issue, right?
Well, I don't
know.
The smell, like if you once that touched your lips, you're gonna be like, I want to spit it right out.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna it's bad, but I gotta drink the rest of it because you gave it to me.
Unless she's diabolical, which she looks like, and the vinegar is covered up by the lemon juice or whatever.
Okay, we're gonna let you rule on this one, EG. Kansas City fan that goes to game and loses hand, should he hold the NFL or the Chiefs liable?
No.
Should she be arrested for making this concoction? If the kid doesn't steal the drink.
The headline is a little misleading.
Give this to your friend.
Give this to your friend. If it was a setting where the kid was worried about his drink being stolen again, and so she was like, well, I'm going to make something up in case it happens.
Yeah, here's what I would say. If that little dick tries to steal your drink again, then just let him have this.
Yes.
Yeah, don't offer it to him. But if he tries to take it, then be like, hey, dude, I wouldn't do that if I was you. Give him a little pre-warning if he does it.
Yeah.
Hey.
And I can guarantee that kid will never drink anything that he did not open himself.
This is interesting. Do you eat a lot of carbs?
Yeah.
A great thing about being 23. I still eat way too many. But refined carbohydrates, carbs that actually have been highly processed in ways that typically remove much of their nutritional value, account for roughly 42% of our daily calorie consumption in the U.S., according to data from the American Medical Association. High-quality whole grain and fruits, meanwhile, account for only 9%. Now, these, quote, low-quality carbs have been associated with adverse health effects such as obesity, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, but they may also be associated with non-medical traits such as the perceived attractiveness. Now, they go on to say, while the effects of refined carbohydrates on certain hormones are well documented, it is also less known that sex hormones can be affected. Certain traits, such as facial attractiveness, are influenced by sex hormones. Thus, you eat bad carbs, you don't look as good.
I believe it. I believe that. That checks out.
So when I wake up in the morning, Maggie looks at me and she says,
I hit that, by the way.
Did you eat a lot of carbs yesterday, baby?
Is that what you get?
That's what I get from her. I just sent a picture to Forrester on his phone. I don't know how quickly he can get it up.
Have you ever seen somebody that happy at breakfast, by the way? The picture that Roxanne was showing.
And not with a very dry
attractiveness and carbs, and she's just killing a croissant.
And her teeth aren't white at all, are they?
Yeah, dry croissant is not that good. Is that what that is?
It's a croissant.
The croissant.
Yeah,
The croissant.
Pronounced a lot different.
Let me just tell you that my wife occasionally, like Taylor uses these beef sticks. They don't taste great to me because they don't have all the stuff that Slim Jims have in them. I like the Slim Jim with
Try
all the
New York Butcher Shop's beef sticks.
Beef sticks?
Oh, okay. He's got a jalapeno one that is fantastic.
I'll give that a try. But Taylor's got some that my wife bulk orders, and I can't eat them because they're good for you and they're natural meat. They don't have nitrates in it and everything. I'm so used to the Slim Jim. But we occasionally...
I thought you ate squirrel off the bone. Are you not used to these meats?
Yeah. No, I mean, this is real meat. What I usually eat is a Slim Jim. Who knows what that is? I'm not even sure it's real meat. But I went to have a sandwich the other day, and I reached into our little bag of where usually normal chips and Doritos are picked. Well, the kids are out of the house. There's no chips or Doritos anymore. I pulled out a bag, if Forrester can put it up here in a second, of this. Chickpea chips. Made of chickpeas.
I love chickpeas.
I do too, but I like them on my salads. I don't want my chips made out of them.
Damn, so you can't even snack the way you want in your own house.
I sent that to little T. I said, I just want a bag of Lay's. Can I get a bag of Golden Flake? Can somebody give me a bag of Lay's? I grabbed that out there to go with my peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
We gotta have a talk after the show
with high grain bread. I wanted some Wonder Bread and some Lay's sour cream and onion. I had high grain peanut butter and jelly bread and chickpeas instead of chips.
Do you ever get up in the middle of the night to get something to eat?
It's happened before. It's not very common.
This will probably be the older you get, because I remember seeing, like, in movies, somebody would get up and make a sandwich, and I'm like, horse shit. Nobody gets up in the middle of the night and makes a sandwich. But I got up last night, I was craving orange juice, and so then I started to bang around the pantry trying to find something to eat, but it wasn't anything good. Yeah. Got to go to the store today.
Yeah, my daughter works at Slice, so she's living with us now. There's almost constantly, she brings home a sliced pizza. There's a couple of slices in my refrigerator all the time.
We've got a high-end sports car allegedly stolen during a test drive in Ontario. Now, the owner told the regional police that he was trying to sell the black Lamborghini online. An ad in Auto Trader listed it for $600,000. Now, this guy had agreed to meet a prospective buyer on Tuesday just before 2 p.m. in a parking lot. The male suspect pulled up in a white Mercedes Maybach, according to police. Other passengers in the vehicle. He then asked to take the Lamborghini for a test drive. According to the owner, suspect was allowed to sit inside of the vehicle while the keys were still inside. Police say he closed the door of the Lamborghini and sped off, with the Mercedes following close behind. Witnesses or anyone with information, they're asked to call the Waterloo Regional Police.
When I steal something, it's something that would keep me... you wouldn't notice that I have a black Lamborghini, would you? Stolen.
Yeah.
Totally not.
I don't know why you speed up. What are you going to do?
Wouldn't be able to call ahead and get police to notice that one anywhere. No. Can I ask a grew up in a trailer park question? Those doors close automatically, or do I have to be over 6 feet tall to reach up and pull them down?
You open it, but you're on those cars, you're essentially laying down driving. Like it is.
So it's not as tall as I think it is.
Oh, no. It's a bump.
Here's what I would ask you guys. If you listed it for $600,000, you wanted to sell it, if it gets stolen and disappears, I mean, would insurance cover more?
That's what I was wondering.
I don't know.
Could this be an inside job?
Could be. I mean, if I knew
the right car to do that with an inside job.
If I knew, well, that thing's probably in a chop shop, or
it'll blend in,
or it's in one of those containers going overseas right now, with the VIN number has been completely scratched out.
It's a pretty car, though.
It is.
It is, but I'm sure they drive incredibly. I've never been behind the wheel of one. But that's a car that you've got to live in, like Miami, to have, right?
If I had $600,000 just to spare, I'm not getting that. If I just think $600,000 is nothing,
I'm paying off my house.
I am not touching that car.
Well, I'm going to need a place. I mean, Miami, maybe.
No, Miami is like the car. Like, you see those all the time, and I think a lot of it is people waste money by renting cars to look like they've got cars like that.
Miami used to be the carjacking capital of the world.
Sure, Atlanta has that.
I was just about to say I wouldn't own one in Atlanta, New York, or Chicago, because in that car, I want a little space to open it up. I think any big city that I would own one in would be Los Angeles, so that, I mean, there's enough interstate travel there between place to place that I'd be able to get out and drive it a little bit.
But you wouldn't there's no performance. If you're on the 5, you can't go more than like 3 miles an hour. We're about to transition to our final story, which are things that are embarrassing for no reason. Like, I would be embarrassed to drive that as my primary car on Highway 280.
Yeah.
Because everyone would look nonstop.
Well, we were blessed
to not have the money to buy one.
We were blessed in our trip to Los Angeles to have the use of a Hummer.
Yeah.
And our driver out there, I mean, it felt like she was able to get around at a high rate of speed on the 5 occasionally.
Yeah, but we were on the backside, so we were more Sherman Oaks to Westgate.
Yeah.
And kind of on the outside of, we weren't really on the 405 much.
Yeah.
But she did get after it.
She did.
Yeah, Maddie did a good job of being our chauffeur out there.
I felt like we were between 70 and 80 a couple of times.
I think
you ought to see her around here. Whew.
Yeah.
Get her a Lambo. Let her get after it.
Acuna has a Lamborghini, and we see it in Atlanta.
Well, you know what? He can afford one.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so here, this guy lists 50 things he finds embarrassing for no reason. And according to this, it's super relatable. When I went to him yesterday, I didn't feel really uncomfortable. We'll see if it changes today, and you guys comment and let me know. Now, video creator and TikTok star Benjamin Tiffin, a.k.a. @TiffyTaki, has been going viral with his incredibly relatable things that people find embarrassing for no reason. Now, here are the highlights. When you think someone's speaking to you, but they're on the phone, and I guess that's with the Bluetooth then, right?
It used to happen all the time in Publix to me. Like I would be looking at steaks or pork chops, and somebody else would be looking. They would say something. I was like, "Beg your pardon," and they were like, "That."
But they never think twice about it, so I don't know why it would be embarrassing.
I don't think that's embarrassing.
What embarrassed to me happened at the Alabama basketball game, last one I was at. There's one hallway, and someone was walking down, and they did a wave, and I went, "Hey man, how are you?" And he was like,
Right
"I was
behind
talking
you.
to the person right behind you." And I was
All
like,
the time.
"Sorry, dude. It was good seeing you, though."
That one can be really uncomfortable. It's not on this list. I'm sure it was part of It's 50. I've never thought about this, but now moving forward, I probably will. Shout out to my dentist, Aaron Nelson. Trying to avoid eye contact at the dentist.
I close my eyes.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
That's the only thing I could.
Is that what you think about though? Like looking straight in their eyes?
It's just super uncomfortable. 'Cause I know she's not looking in my eyes because she's looking in my mouth.
Right, but it's like
still, like it's uncomfortable. Just I'm watching you.
I've never thought about
I
that.
haven't either.
And I've been to the dentist a million times.
I always close my eyes.
Yep, me
Like,
too.
It's too uncomfortable.
Me too.
Well, but the light too is right there, so I feel like you almost have to close your eyes.
Yes, because it's super bright.
Yeah.
And you have the hygienist right next to you, like.
Occasionally catches that cheek.
You know, the most difficult thing is they love to talk.
And it's they're trying to make you comfortable.
No, and I get that, but it's almost like you need to tell them or have one of our little boards where you could write on it. Or just say, look, you just roll with your stories and I'm just going to relax. Because I really can't talk back because every time I try,
If you're getting a root canal or something serious and they've got that little dam on it, whatever it's called,
It's
with
called
the
a boot.
yeah,
It's called a boot.
I mean, it's holding your mouth open, and those are impossible to talk. So how do you think Alabama's quarterback's going to be this year?
Okay, here's another embarrassing thing that makes people uncomfortable. Trying to disguise a yawn during a one-on-one conversation. If you know the person well, like if I yawned in front of one of you two, I wouldn't really
Well,
care.
say if you're talking to, this isn't a personal story, but say you're talking to like a therapist or something like that, and you're telling your story, and they're doing your nostrils flare, and you're kind of, it's hard to hide, but doing that 3 or 4 times during, you're like, and then this happened, and this, I'm just concerned about this.
Well, I'm fighting it right now because we're talking about it, but this is the segment every day on the show that it's my first time to relax this segment because LT is in charge and this is his segment. And so I'm able finally to not have to think about anything, just react. I get to be Brown for a segment. I don't think about anything. I just react. Right?
Yep. Okay. All right.
So I have just
When's his birthday, by the way?
It's in March. So, by the way, I'm not shaving until Brown's back. So he'll be back Monday, hopefully, and I'll be able to shave Monday before I come to work.
Jeez, wonder if he just doesn't come back.
You're in mourning.
Then we'll keep growing. It'll be a way we remember Brown. But on this segment, every day I fight a yawn all the time, and sometimes you'll see me go because you don't want to, because it's interesting stories, and if you yawn in this setting, then it's going to look like I'm not interested in the segment. So I fight a yawn during this segment every day, not have anything to do with the story. It's just my first chance to
doesn't bother me
to yawn.
Okay, so here's another one. When you're telling a personal story, the waiter comes to clear your table. I don't know why that's a big deal.
I don't think.
It was almost like, and then she got the gun and everything. Oh, hey, yeah, we're good. Yeah, no, and hold on. All right, she got the gun, and then like that kind of thing where they kind of stay in your. You have to stop the story.
Yes.
Your momentum.
Yeah,
Time
I
for
think
you
it's
to
embarrassing.
You
Get out of
can't
here,
come to
too.
the table too much as a server.
Oh yeah, yeah, that can wear you out. Like
There's
an art.
Yeah,
there is an
There
art, definitely. And finally, looking for someone at a bar or restaurant who's already there. I don't know why that's a big deal.
I don't think so
We're in
either.
the back, and you're doing this,
People do it all the time.
and you got somebody 100 yards away.
Yeah. That's Trash Today, brought to you by
Buying a home, major milestone in life. Getting it right comes down to the right advice at the right time. That's why we're proud to partner with our friends at Mortgage Right who get mortgages right. Call 205-815-9200. You can apply online, mortgageright.com/TNR. It's our friends at Mortgage Right.
was not a shot at Brown with him not here. I say the same thing when he's here. Brown's back with us on Monday.
Oh, I think we're definitely meaner to each other when we're here.
Exactly, 100%. So there was not a
Yeah,
shot
you
at
thought
him.
you were in the barrel yesterday, and I was just being me.
Yeah. You first couple of minutes, I can't remember anything now because it's water off the duck's back, but I was like, dang, it's going to be a long show. We've had 3 really nice shows, and now early on, but it settled into a nice show, another fun show
Did
today.
you notice that, Rocky? Was I abrasive yesterday?
Oh, the cheese incident we got. We just.
All I said was Kraft is shit. That's all I said. I didn't know you ate Kraft.
Yeah.
And then you got all defensive about Kraft.
That's his one trigger is cheese. Do not scream cheese was done away.
But the good news is I don't think about it when I leave work. Or do I? If you go check me out on Twitter last night, I was making sandwiches and I posted.
No, you didn't.
The good stuff, LT.
I didn't even see that.
You gonna tell me you eat chickpea chips and you're gonna eat Kraft cheese on
Yeah,
that?
really. Yeah, Lady Maggie. I mean, she's all over the place.
Oh, there's real cheeses in the fridge but when I'm making my own sandwich, I go back to my
Did she
roots.
tell you that?
You don't have a
Hey,
safe
Kraft cheese
combination?
in?
Yeah, we've got a drawer in the bottom. My dairy, your dairy.
No, mine is the only one that's the Kraft is my only part of my cheeses. She's got really good cheeses there, and when she makes the sandwich, it's never that. If she makes me a sandwich, it'll come up, and I'm like, why does this taste? What is it? What is on this? And she's like, it's this, it's that, and I said, what kind of cheese is this? And she'll name the cheese, and I'm like, can I just get 2 Kraft singles, please?
Here's when I started to realize how bad the Kraft cheese or whatever the substitute is the late Ralph on Howard Stern used to throw the piece of cheese and get it to try to stick on people. And when the cheese is sticking, like, I don't think real cheese should stick, should it? If it's not melted.
Once it comes out of that slice, it is kind of sticky. Once it comes out of that wrapper, that's some kind of hard to find that fold.
We got no deal with Tillamook. I'm not, whatever your boutique is.
RJ.
But yeah, Tillamook, when you open that up, there's zero chance you could stick a piece of Tillamook on anything.
Daniel says, what happened to Vern Funquist? Twitter, he has been banned from Twitter. We're trying to get it back.
What happened?
He jokingly said, and it was 100% a joke with one of his good friends, if you don't call me back, dude, I'm going to kill you. And it triggers all the algorithms, even with Elon Musk, free speech guy, and he has been banned from Twitter. It's all because of a joke. So we're trying to get him back on Twitter. You hit up Elon Musk.
You've got trolls all over the place that can say whatever they want, destroying people. But you say a joke and you get banned?
Oh, yeah. I mean, every post or whatever, because we're on this platform, there's some porn bot or something that'll be like, look at this, look at that, click this link. But my goodness, you can't joke about I'll kill you to a buddy. Let's get Vern Funquist his Twitter back. We're back in a moment on TNR. The show brought to you by Champy's Chicken. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Slide in there. Eat the good stuff. He'll make any kind of cheese that you want to, but also the good fried chicken, all the sides. It is wonderful. It is Sterling, champy'schicken.com.
Never miss anything Auburn. Watch Village Vice at Wardam Pods on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, and hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Legacy Credit Union has the ultimate game changer for your finances. With Engaged Checking, you can earn 3% APY on balances up to $15,000. You heard correctly, 3% APY. But it's not just about scoring with high yields. With Engaged Checking, you can get paid up to 2 days early. That means your paycheck, Social Security, tax refund, you name it, you get it early. So stop sitting on the sidelines and get in the game with Engaged Checking. Sign up today at LegacyCreditUnion.com or visit any 9 Greater Birmingham area branches. APY is annual percentage yield. Terms and conditions may apply. See Credit Union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Hang out with the next round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the next round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
We're debating Mystery Fifth Hour topics right now. We're going to record a new one right after the show. Rockstar, crazy story about yourself that nobody knows about you.
Not a lot of people know. And
would that be a good topic?
Yeah, I think I was trying to think of that we haven't said before.
Yeah,
I've got a bunch. Yeah. I'm kind of I'm afraid to unleash this one.
No, don't be afraid. Mystery Fifth Hour, we'll record it. It'll be out later on, and that'll likely be our topic. Tune in and check that out. Final segment of the show today being brought to you by the Rump Shaker event coming up a little bit later on in March. It's a great way to raise awareness and help out a great cause as we fight colon rectal cancer.
Yeah, did you realize that colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in America? It affects men and women equally. If you're 45 or older, Rump Shaker encourages you to talk to your doctor about screening options that are available. Colon cancer is preventable, it's beatable, it's treatable, but early detection is the key. RumpShakerInc.org. And don't forget about the 16th annual Rump Shaker 5K that is coming up Saturday, March 23rd at Regents Field. Go to RumpShakerInc.org to get registered and for more information.
This is where I produce on the Air Forcer. Is there anything that you've put together that we have not done yet? We got the snake guy on. We did the late kick Josh graphic. Was there anything else that we needed to get out this week to go into a clean slate? No.
Did we ever do the Tom Brady video?
Tom Brady video? I don't know anything about. Oh, the running?
Yeah.
The 40 for 40. It's something we can't use. I think it's NFL owned or his podcast owned.
This is how bored he is.
Yeah, him running when he was 22 and him running now at 40 whatever, where he's faster now.
You know, I think that was one of the things. His measurables were terrible in Indianapolis. One of the many reasons he fell in the draft, and you know, his 40 time was something that people really focused on. But for him at 46 to be able to outrun that time is pretty amazing.
And one more thing to get to in the NFL, but a couple of player movements. Chicago cornerback Jalen Johnson,
stud,
4-year, $76 million deal yesterday. Where did he play college?
Jalen Johnson, boy, he was a late. He was a 50th pick, so he was actually a second-round guy.
I don't remember him in college.
Oh, I want to say Oak State.
Oklahoma State?
I'll check that for you, though.
Okay. Big contract for him yesterday. Apparently, the market for running backs have already been bad. You know, the next position where the bottom's falling out of the market is safeties. That's a corner in Jalen Johnson. High value position. Apparently, the market for safeties is starting to plummet now. I'm not going to spend as much money on safeties. But Honey Badger got a new deal yesterday at age 31. Tyrann Mathieu got a 2-year, $13 million deal, but that's very small. Daniel says Utah.
Yeah, Utah.
So he was a Utah guy. Honey Badger got a new contract with the Saints. Michael Thomas is not getting one.
Yeah, and Michael Thomas is unfortunate. First of all, I think the safety, that number might have gotten busted up because of Jamal Adams and the lack of production once he got that big deal with Seattle. Michael Thomas, to me, is the most talented receiver the New Orleans Saints have ever had in their history. Now, when you look at numbers, Marcus Colston, Joe Horn, those numbers are going to be bigger because Thomas couldn't stay healthy. But when he was healthy, dude, he was a complete stud.
Mixed reviews coming out of Pittsburgh camp. Remember yesterday I said they were not interested in Russell Wilson?
I've heard this.
Now reports he's on a plane and is going to meet with the Steelers, despite the general manager saying a few days ago they're all in on Kenny Pickett. Right now, they've only got one quarterback on their roster. Is Kenny Pickett. He played 12 games last year, had that injury.
Well, here's what I would do. I don't have a problem with the Steelers. I mean, you're paying $1.2 million to have this guy that's won a Super Bowl, he's played in multiple Super Bowls on your roster.
You think he's going to take a position where he's not the starter, though?
I don't think he's got a lot of options. So, I mean, it just depends on what he wants, but I think he's a guy that could, you have a healthy competition. If Russell comes out, he's reinvented, and he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's better with Arthur Smith as your offensive coordinator, then he's the guy. But if he's not, he can push a young Kenny Pickett and let Kenny Pickett learn from him.
Yeah. Final two things here. One, there seems to be a push. Surely it won't happen this year. Seems to be a push that the NFL is trying to get more excitement back into the kick game, and they are seriously considering the XFL kick rule from last year where one team, not the kicker, but the players will line up on the receiving team's 40, and the blockers will line up on the receiver team 35, so you get no running starts. And then the one guy back receiving the ball, you can't move if you're on that line to 40 and to 35 until it's touched, is the way they did it in the XFL. And then on the touch, then you can start blocking and trying to make the tackle, and the return is on. If it's kicked into the end zone or out of the end zone, you get it on the 35. But if you let it roll or bounce into the end zone, you get it at the 20. It's way too complicated. Let's just kick the damn thing off.
Well, let me ask you this. So I think you do see some of the more violent collisions in all of football on the kickoff because you do have guys that are able to build up that speed coming down on kick coverage. But I don't see a ton of injuries. And I know the NFL does their due diligence, and it's one of the things that they're top of mind when it comes to safety. But do you see a lot of injuries?
No, because last year was a record number of
touchbacks.
Let's just keep it that way.
Well, I'll tell you the dumbest thing that they're trying to implement is you can only have onside kicks if you're trailing in the fourth quarter, and you've got to let the team know.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the surprise factor? I mean, two of the greatest onside kicks in major games that I can ever remember, Sean Payton to open the half against the Indianapolis Colts, which ultimately won them a Super Bowl, and then Nick Saban, what he did against Clemson in the desert. Like, without that onside kick, I don't think Alabama wins that game. Do you?
Oh, no. Yeah. Not at all. Not at all. In both those championship situations,
ballsy calls.
And they come out of nowhere.
It would have completely backfired. Sean Payton and Nick Saban would have gotten killed if they don't recover those and they ultimately lose those games.
Troy says McAfee covered that and said that they're not doing that. I hope that is the case. It was going to be proposed with the rules committee to see if it got any traction. I know when Moose, Daryl Johnson, was on our show talking about the UFL, that the XFL kickoff was a non-starter for the USFL folks. They said that it is their research, and Americans, they like the excitement of the football kickoff, even if there's not a return, that it just looks like it's football. And I sort of agree with Moose on that. Brownie's back with us on Monday. He had the week off vacation-wise, and I appreciate the whole staff up here because everyone jumped in and helped with booking guests and everything this week. I appreciate everyone doing that. EG got us O's the Mentalist today. Little T was helping out. Big T was helping out here. Lance was. Rockstar, Forrester. Everybody was sending me suggestions on who to get on the show this week. It was a lot of fun. I booked Monday so Brown can ease back in next week. So we got Danny Cannell and T-Bob on Monday. We look forward to that. And a lot of fun until we get ready for football again, which rolls your way in 169 days. Nice. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.